Hey, John.
Hey! Happy Friday, everybody.
So we start every episode with me singing, or sometimes you sing. Today I've got
Today,
two songs that I'm spoiled for choice, but I'll let you decide which one I should sing.
okay.
Okay, both
Okay.
both got. I mean, they're not directly related to army, but army-ish
Okay.
theme. One is
Amish.
okay. One is
Yep.
White Stripes Seven Nation Army.
Okay.
Okay.
And the other?
The other one, I think you will love it, is
Yeah.
Macho Man by the Village People.
I think everyone out there wants to hear Macho Man.
Okay lah.
For
Okay
sure.
lah.
For sure. Okay. Macho Man, everybody. Come on. Take it away.
Every man wants to be a macho man, to have that kind of body, always in demand. Jogging in the mornings, go man go. Workouts in the health spa, muscles grow. You can best believe me, he's a macho man. Glad he took you down with anyone you can. Hey, 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 macho man. I've got to be a macho man. Macho man. I've got to be a macho man. I've got to be a macho.
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions. I wanna be a macho man, macho man.
Okay lah, your army a bit old school. Now got ladies in the army also. Okay?
Aye.
So macho girls as well.
I remember this because the American army used macho men by the village people for their army recruitment, only to realize that the village people are actually talking about, the song is about, love in different ways.
Well, that also applies to the army. That also applies to the American army. So maybe they were very cleverly using it to say something that they cannot say.
Hint, hint. Wow.
Hint, hint.
Who's first today?
Wow. Okay. Jillian Fernandez was first today. And thank you, Alsatian, for reporting that.
Wow, very nice.
Alsatian was the first message I saw reporting who was first. So thank you.
Take
Very,
attendance.
very useful.
Elijah was asking me, what
correct.
are we drinking? I am drinking McQuakan.
Wow. McQuakan.
$25.60 from Ang Mo Supermarket. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I'm just telling you what I'm drinking. They should be sponsoring.
Wow. Okay. I see a lot of generous people today. Wow. Even before show start, they were throwing money at us. Come, you want to introduce us to these generous folks?
Yes. Okay, so there is
Who was
a
first?
comment section below. If there's a dollar sign beside that, you can click on that and you can type in your message. Drop us a super emoticon or message so we will not miss it. Just like how these people have done it. Alsatian Adrian Chua was the first today to pop in $20 for us. Thank you very much for your generosity, bro. So I'm going to sing this because anyone who's been to army would know the rhythm to this chant, cheer. Not sure the call.
Chant. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Left hop, right hop, pochong better keep up. Left hop, right, ayo, I don't know how to do this, man. I think I lost
see.
it.
See.
Ayo, ayo, here we hop again, up and down. I think he I don't know, I screw up or he screw up. Can you do it?
Alsatian. What chant are you referring to? You better give clue, okay? Okay, why don't you just read it normally?
Okay.
Read it normally, like a human being.
Left hop, right hop, pochong better keep up. Left hop, right, ayo, ayo, ha. Here we hop again, up and down every night. Few more hours and yeah lah, that's the song lah. Here we go again.
No, carry on. Just read it.
Yeah. FNL, we hop in here, our home sweet home. Okay, whole lot knocking now. Raven dropped in $5. Oh yeah, another part. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I missed one. I scrolled too far. Samuel Yan singing Mucho Macho Man.
Very nice.
We have Serene Tan. A very good evening to everyone, especially to the two gorgeous hosts.
Oh,
She say we
we
gorgeous,
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry, I'm very
Me?
humble. Are you watching some other program? All right. Yes,
Just
of course.
one
Of
more.
course we are.
You're a stalker. Kalang stalker.
Huh? Oh, hello. Where is he? Okay, Safwan. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Private Safwan report for duty. Can have civil defense story next. Oh,
Can
quite nice.
you all send in? I got enough story. It can be a theme. It's all depend on you guys. I don't create this. Whatever you send me, I put together. Ivan helped me, and he's like our little librarian, putting in a little folder, and I go in and I sift through. So what you give me, I can find a theme. I put it together. We can have a topic. So Safwan, help me find more people to give civil defense stories. I don't have enough.
Yeah, I think we need a collection for SCDF stories. I've actually never heard a single SCDF story, I think. So please come excite us. Okay, what Raven is referring to when he says, oh yeah, another part, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, is that this is part 2 of this season's sort of tribute to Army Ghost Stories, but it's actually the 3rd Army themed episode we've had, right?
Yeah.
Last year we had 1.
Yes.
Right, then last week we had another one, and this is part 3, and I don't know, will there be a part 4?
Part 4 I'll keep for next year.
Okay, we take a break.
We
take a break.
Otherwise, you all be, you hear it once you hear it all. So we'll keep it fresh, right? Every year we bring it back. Some will be a classic, nostalgic story. People who are new to Confessions or new to Army story will enjoy it. Those who Lao Chiao like us will reminisce and walk down memory lane.
True. But at the same time, if as the episode goes along and you suddenly remember a story or an anecdote or something that you heard when you were in the army and you want to share it with us, you can. Where can they send it to?
Send it to +65 9459 4931. I do encourage you guys to just spread this number around. And anyone with a ghost story, they say, I got a haunted story. You choto mate. Call this number right now. I can That kind of
Okay,
thing.
but for today, we only want stories that are relevant to the theme. Okay, for today, for the next 2 hours, right? If you think of anything that's army related, send it. Eugene will collect it, and then we'll see if we have time. We'll try to read as many of them as we can. Okay, these are fresh confessions, right? If you send a really long one, it'll probably become something in the archive and wait for
narrated.
the next round,
Correct.
right? But if it's short enough, we'll try to cover today.
I mean,
Okay.
like for example,
What
Samuel
we-
Yen sent something last week, but we did not add it to the short story list. But this week his story will be featured, and also Tristan sent it last week while we were doing our show. But it's very long and good. Long and good.
Long and good, yes.
It will be
As all things should be. Yeah.
it will be featured tonight. Okay. Yeah. So Tristan is watching us right now.
So no worries if it doesn't get read out tonight. It will go in the files. It will always see the light of day sometime. Okay. But that means also that for those of you who are new again, right? We've been saying this for the past couple of weeks already, right? That as you are contributing to the chat, right? Don't try to type your story inside the chat. In 5 parts, 10 parts, 11 parts, right? Because that will make it very FOMO for us because we cannot read the story and then we feel very sad. And also B, it will distract everyone else in the chat from actually just chatting. So just type it all up and send it straight to Eugene. Okay?
Yeah.
And that will be the best.
For me is
okay, Gabby.
Gabby. Say thanks for doing this. Belanja kopi again. Thank you.
Nice.
Kamsia.
Thank you.
Any more not?
Sorry, you're saying yes.
Okay, I was saying for me is when I hear a ghost story, my first instinct is let's make something out of it. It is such a pity when a ghost story just flies by and don't get archived and recorded. To me, it's very sayang.
Yeah. Ezekiel K. Fitting night for Army Ghost Story. Starting reservist this Monday. Ooh, okay. Good luck. All the best. Okay. And whatever you encounter, send to us straight away. Okay.
Got any Khatib camp story? Raven, I was in Khatib camp for a short while. Down there, the reservists are very lazy. I think the ghosts also are very lazy. Oh my God. Someone says
Fox
Greenwich.
Foo. What? Greenwich, what?
No, Greenwich is my
What about
neighborhood.
Greenwich?
So, my kampung people. Fox Foo, why?
Okay. Fox Fu says, I did an army horror photo shoot for Standby Organ. Ooh, that classic story, the Tekong one. If Eugene is keen, I can WhatsApp you the link of the photos. Of course. Eugene is keen. Horror cosplay, anytime, man.
Okay.
Send. And if it's not too obscene, we will show it. We will show it in the episode. So please send Fox Fu. Wow. Okay.
Fox Fu is the guy who actually invited us to his bar at Katong. So if you're in Katong area,
nice.
Katong Shopping Center, the old classic shopping center.
Yes.
Fox Fu. No, sorry, wrong.
You mentioned before.
That's Forest Fu, wrong guy. This Fox, that one Forest.
Anyhow,
Fox
you.
in the Forest, I got that mixed up. Anyway, where are you guys from? I know there's Melbourne, there's Perth, there's probably some Sembawang people, and any Greenwich folks, just make some noise and I can hear you.
Let us know. Yeah, actually, he can hear you. I can only hear Safwan. So, okay. But do let us know if you're listening in for the first time so we can welcome you. And also, if you are listening from outside Singapore, right? Let's see how far our reach is tonight.
All right.
This morning.
Okay. While you take your
okay.
time to send in your where you guys are from, I see one Pongo coming already. I shall today try to survive reading the credits. Because got new names today.
Cannot. I think we've reached your limit. Last week you were almost had Chuan on it. You cannot already. I think today we will see him
You guys
choke and turn blue.
You guys really had me today. Yeah. Okay, but I'll try.
Okay, stand by first aid. Okay. All right. He's gonna read us our wonderful list of Patreons in one breath. Right.
Supernatural Confessions cannot be possible without the generous contribution of our patrons, and they are Supernatural Confessions patrons, Sentient Entities, Elaine Chua, Tengku Alsatian, Mco Grim, ZP Matt, Queen Lai, Lim Tek Chuan, Alvin Sensei, VL, KC Chan, Alexei O, Janice Ang, Jacqueline N, Yong Kwon Yu, Han J, Jawin Dato, Easy, Starving Jack, Hot Water Bottle, Sharon Ng, Eric Lin Si Swan, Edwin Lee. No sweat. You guys are not giving me enough challenge. Okay. Wandering Spirit.
Next one, you watch out. Next one.
Joel Go, Deborah Confused, Chaking To, Lida Hayden, LEX, Just Neo, Jellyfish, Bibit Teo, Te Hakwi, 2 Cents, Elvin Lim, Kenny Polaris, Giant T, Sharitzu, TTB, Jujube, Jume, Zepi, Zavindas, Gary Fu, Isaac Lau, Martin Felani, Don Sie, Ed A, Yao, Siu, J, Karina, Yani, Gui Vai Chong, Shi Kai Chong, Swafan Zaina, T. Emilia, Sarin Tan, Saya Masunda, Menon, Jin, like color. I made it.
Barely.
Oh, one more name I
Barely,
think I
okay?
got. Restless
Barely.
Souls.
By the end of it, you were sounding like you were speaking Aramaic and you were possessed. Okay. okay. This one easy one. Okay.
Restless
Go,
Souls.
go, go.
Seattle, Grace Jack, and Dicha, Ron K. Jack, Ong, Nicholas, Paul, Buck, Rachel, Y. Calvin, C. Lachmi, Julian, Theo, David, Kalbilan, Koshkal, direct name, Khan. I got to learn how to pronounce that name. Jilinovics? David, let me know if I mangle up your name, please. I don't want to mangle up your name, but let me know how to pronounce it.
So please join us on Patreons because it's great fun watching Eugene struggle for breath.
I think if there's anything, our patrons have actually improved my stamina and my lung capacity. It's like a weekly practice.
You need more life. Okay.
Raven said Eugene like praying, like macam yang.
Yeah lah.
Yam
And
keng.
usually you say them with like gusto. Today you have to like consider.
Yeah, I had to pace myself throughout.
So not ideal.
Yeah. Okay. Next week I'll do better.
Paris Paris Lim is saying, I heard Yao Xiu followed by KNN. See, mispronounce turn people's names into curse words.
Not. Yao Xiu J Karina lah, not Yao Xiu J Karina lah. Walao.
Not clear already.
Okay,
You're
okay.
losing it. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So last week we had quite a journey, right? We had a little bit of travel around the army, right? We talked about all the various camps, right? And today you will notice two particular camps are quite significant, right? They were both mentioned, I think, inside the feature confession, right? I hope all of you listened to that, right? If you haven't, please go and check it out. Quite exciting. Continuing our army theme. So later we will talk about these two camps also because I was at one of them and I'd like to hear more about those who were at the other one.
Last week, you guys asked
review
me
now.
which is the most haunted camp, and a lot of names have been thrown into the voting pool. I have distilled down to three camps that have been repeatedly mentioned in confessions, as well as
Nice.
So I mean, like you all put on the comment section, that's fine. But when I look at the confessions, which are the recurring camps, I'll put that out for vote later on. Okay.
Cool.
Ron Ziegler.
Thank you, Ron Zigglerox.
First
Thank you for your
super.
donation. First time super chat. Thank you. Yay. Wow, keep the super chats coming. Okay, definitely as the episode goes on and we start sort of reading the confessions and stuff, we will probably miss a lot of the comments because they tend to come pretty quickly, right? So the super chat is one way to make sure that whatever you want to say gets heard lah, because the box is so big. How to miss? Oh, Scotland. Hello. Marie Cleo, hello in Scotland. Goodness knows what time it is in Scotland.
Probably morning.
Must be morning. Yeah. Oh no. And Stefan Plays. Hi, first time tuning in. Welcome.
All right. So prepare your drinks. We are going to definitely bust 11:30 today. No way to finish by 11:30.
Yikes.
Let's get on with the show. Shall we, John?
Yes. Okay. Our first one is a super classic tale. I think most of you would have heard some variation of this tale before. I definitely have. We even share this story inside our Walk with Hantu Changi tour, right, which we'll tell you about later, right? But this version is slightly different. There's a little twist to this one.
Right. Should I go first or do you want to go first?
Okay, you go first.
I go first, huh? Okay. I'm happy to do this one. Very classic. Confession by R. Guard duty encounters on Tekong. This incident took place in 2006 while I was doing my first guard duty during the physical fitness training weeks before the actual BMT, basic military training period. We weren't issued rifles yet, so patrols around the island were done using batons and shield. I remember it was drizzling that day because this piece of information will be important in the later part of this confession. Before the commencement of our patrol, the duty sergeant showed us the map of the island and briefed us on the route and the potential hazards to look out for. The briefing was done with the standard officious tone you can come to expect of a typical army sergeant. But when he got to the area behind Eagle Company, where the standard obstacle course structure were, he lowered his voice and spoke more deliberately. When you patrol the SOC site, do not look up at the Jacob's ladder, understand? My patrol buddy and I looked at each other, but we knew better than to question his instruction because, well, this is Tekong. While it wasn't an official order, we knew it was wisest to heed his advice. We just looked at the sergeant, who could probably read the questions on our faces. There's a lady in red standing on the Jacob's ladder. Avoid looking up the ladder, okay? Gentlemen, he said. At that point in time, there was no reason for him to scare us. In fact, we were newbies. And if we failed in our duties, he will be held responsible for it. In the short time I've known this sergeant, I found him to be one of the most serious sergeants, pious, not one to be giving new recruits cheap scares. Compounding all these traits that I know of him with the tone of his instructions, I had no reason at all to disbelieve him. So we took our orders and left for patrol. When we arrived at the SOC site, we just behaved as per normal. Midway through the SOC section, my patrol buddy, who was usually stoic and no-nonsense kind of guy, walked hurriedly past me, head down towards the ground. And as he walked past me, he said, Xiao Liao, I saw her. At that point in time, my mind was racing. I was shocked by my buddy's action because he was usually stoic, but suddenly he becomes so humpty, so coward. My sergeant's instruction kept replaying in my mind, and I did my best not to look up. As I was keeping my head down, there were puddles of rainwater, and I glimpsed something orangey reddish in the reflection. My buddy was slightly ahead of me, and I quickened my pace to catch up. As we got closer to the end point of the SOC area, our nerves frayed, and we made a dash out of that spot. But the night did not end there. An hour into our patrol, we had another encounter. There was another spot that was on our patrol route. It was a small building near the jetty. For reasons that we cannot identify, we were both overwhelmed with a strong floral smell. Again, we exchanged glances. But growing up in Singapore, we knew better than to address or acknowledge the strange scent. We knew what it meant. It was Miss P. Do we go in and risk meeting a Pontiana in there? Or skip it and risk getting punished? In the end, we decided to wait it out for another 30 minutes for the next batch of guard personnel to catch up. Safety in numbers. By that time, the other two guards arrived, we felt we were brave enough to enter the site. The smell had already dispersed and all four of us managed to check in at the spot without issues. Unfortunately, when we exited the building, an Encik was walking over to us angrily. We tried to explain our situation to the Encik, but we were still punished with 20 push-ups. Back at the guardhouse, we relayed our encounter to our sergeant, and surprisingly, he did not ask us more questions. A normal prowling duty requires the guard duty personnel to patrol the circuit twice in one night. But the sergeant was sympathetic to our encounters and swapped out our second prowling duty to do stationary sentry duty at the jetty instead. I thought about this incident for years, and I've been questioning, what was that red reflection I saw in a puddle of water? One part of my brain is quick to assume it was the lady in red on the Jacob's ladder. The more rational side of me is telling me it's probably just a reflection of the orange light from the lamps lining the path. Secondly, if the sergeant had indeed wanted to play a prank on us, he wouldn't need to take us at our stories and swap us to sentry duty instead. John and Eugene, what do you think?
Classic lah. This one very classic. Okay, I have a question to begin first.
Okay.
Who knows when the new BMTC came up? The BMTC in Tekong. Was it before 2000? Anyone know? If anyone knows, please share.
I
right?
went in about 97. It was considered quite new because the beds, I remember we still had plastic wrapping, so we had to tear it out. So we were probably like the first batch there.
Okay. So it was before 2000. Okay. Okay. So have you ever heard stories of the lady and the Jacob's Ladder in this new BMTC?
I heard of it, but I can't
Because-
remember the details. But I remember when the lady on the Jacob's Ladder was quite a popular story from before my time. And even when we were doing guard duties, we were informed of it.
Because I'm, as you know, right? Ageless and timeless, right? So I heard of the lady in the old Camp 1. So this was long before, and it was even before my time in army, right? So it could have been the 80s, could have been the 70s, okay, not 70s.
The 1800s,
probably the
before your
80s.
time was about 1800s.
Sure, yes. So because the old Camp 1, the SOC, was right by the water.
Yes.
And so the actual Jacob's Ladder faces the sea and is very near to the sea, right? Which made sense to the story that was being told, right? And then suddenly I'm realizing that, she has moved to the next Jacob's Ladder that was built, right? And I don't think it's so near the water now, right? The new SOC is probably a bit further inland, right?
It's been
So
a while.
what's her obsession? Right. So it's quite interesting because she has migrated, right? I don't even know if the old SOC is still there because the old Camp 1 is supposedly still there, abandoned, right? So why would she have moved from one Jacob's Ladder to another? Or is this another ghost who is haunting? Because the old ghost was white and this one is red. That's
more
the big
keras.
twist for me. More keras. I mean, if you're Chinese, you will know, right? The red has a very specific meaning, right? So I'm slightly confused whether it's the same ghost and had a costume change, whether it's a new ghost and Jacob's Ladder is now a thing within the ghost world. It's like, very trendy to go and sit on the Jacob's Ladder, right? Or what? It's too much of a coincidence to have two female ghosts on two Jacob's Ladders in two different camps.
Maybe
You know,
in Tekong there's a council of Hantu. Then you go like, okay, Jacob Ladder, we need to do a deploy. Now you go there, you go to Camp 1, you go to Camp 2, yours in Camp 3. So there's all these white ladies.
Maybe they're also rotating. They're rotating. I don't know, right? Okay, so let's see what people are saying, right? Okay, Camp 1 was the original story, someone is saying. Okay, so someone here has lived as long as I have and remembers this, right? Yeah, because I definitely heard it before I went into army, and it was told as a story that was much older, right? It was told in the same breath as the three-door bunk. Right, so clearly it was a 80s thing. Three-door bunk was 80s, if I'm not mistaken, right? C. Joe is saying, I heard the Red Lady at Legend in the early 2000s. Okay. Yeah, so how are they on shift duty? Hard to say. 1999, I got people here after 94. Okay, that's useful. Okay. Are there any other Jacob's Ladder stories? Is what I would also like to know. Other camps in Singapore where other ladies are also sitting on Jacob's Ladders. Is it a ghost trend?
I don't know,
Is
man.
it a Insta-worthy spot?
One thing I know is Jacob's Ladder has crushed many balls when people miss a step. So maybe the crushing of balls is what attracts the female spirit to that place. or maybe
possibly.
or maybe the wooden logs from the Jacob's Ladder in the original camp, they reuse again, they repurpose. Did they?
Oh,
Right?
that's interesting to know. Yeah, who would know, right? Who would know whether the old SOC is still there, right? And whether they may have just moved the whole Jacob's Ladder over. Quite true. Army budget not enough. After building the whole camp, no money to buy new SOC equipment. So just shift. Hard to say, but that would be a wonderful story, right? And then she gets pissed off because she used to wear white and was very innocent. And then now that you moved her thing, she's very angry and she wants revenge. So she had to change to red. I don't know. What is your theory? Do you guys think that there are two separate women on the Jacob's Ladder? Or is this somehow a continuation? Is this the sequel of the original Jacob's Ladder lady, right? Fox Fu has sent you the photo. Thank you for your super chat. Yay.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Eugene, take a look at the photo
I'm looking
later
at it
and
now.
let us
Already.
know. Huh?
Why I'm distracted? Because I'm
Is
looking
it
at a photo.
censored?
No, it's nice.
Okay. Can show her.
I
Okay,
asking for
later
permission.
after we finish.
I asked him whether can I share. He haven't
Okay,
replied
can.
me yet. Speaking of whether it's the same woman or not, I would like to
Mm.
get you guys to help me out here. Huh? So one of the most common story now is people finding long strand of hair on their beds. So army boys listening in, if you are now in camp listening to Supernatural Confessions, I need you to help us out. I want to do this experiment. You take the hair, you pass it to me. I want to go and do a DNA check. Is it the same DNA? Means the one hantu go around dropping hair? Or is this many different hantu assigned to different blocks?
It'll turn out to be your own DNA.
Alternate reality.
So is it only long hair found inside the army bunk
On
that
the bed.
you want?
Yeah lah, inside.
Okay, so
I
long
mean,
hair
inside
in your drain hole, all the one.
No lah, don't need lah. Alamak. The drain hole, you keep it there. Especially if it's curly, you leave it there. Okay? I want the long straight hair on the bed. After you do, you stand by area, stand by bunk, then still got the hair there. That hair I want. You put inside
It would be meaningful to have evidence. I think
MSA
that
will
can
go
be
and
first
research.
thing that we see. Yeah, and when you finally build the supernatural museum, that would be a wonderful thing. We get there'll be a row of microscopes and we go, look at hair from step 1 camp, hair from Tekong, hair from and it'll be amazing if we find out that it's all the same hair.
Wow.
Like there's one hantu going around all the camps, like blah 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 blah. And
The
no more hair.
apex Pontianak. The episode
Apex
I have to go
Pontianak.
and talk to Beijing 101. We have to do a sponsorship.
Yunnan.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun. That'd
Alsatian,
be such a funny ad. Okay, carry on.
Alsatian Agent
Alsatian.
Chua. Anyone tried to take upskirt video of Pontianak at Jacob's Ladder? Cannot bring the camera phone to camp lah, Alsatian. Cannot bring. Not go in and
Okay, Samuel Yuan, thank you for your donation. Samuel Yuan has explained that no lah, Tekong en bloc and she was relocated.
kesian.
That's why she angry. You see, that's why I'm thinking she was on block from old Cam 1 into the new BMTC, and she's not happy. That's why she changed to red.
But closer to the water,
You know? Huh?
Closer to the water.
I don't know if it is. Is BMTC SOC closer to the water? Hard to say.
I can't remember.
But also the atmosphere not so nice. Last time I remember Camp 1 was very, very kampong, right? With lots of palm trees and everything. So it was very much like, I guess, her home, which would have been the kampong by the sea back then, right? So now I think it's a bit built up, right? BMTC now is a bit built
My
up.
time,
So
my time they
she'll
call
feel
it
like she's in
chalet.
a sports complex.
Last time was very.
They call it chalet, meh?
No, my time, 1997, 98, they
Ah.
call it Tekong Chalet because it looks like there's no double bunk. There's a single bed, king coil.
Oh, okay.
And because everything was new, the toilet facilities was clean. So it looks like a chalet, not so much of your
Were
usual.
you at the old Camp 1?
No, mine was really.
Were
quite
you at the
new.
old Camp 1?
You're talking about one single row with double bed all the way, right?
Yeah, that's the old Camp 1.
No. By the time I served
The
my
new BMTC is a freaking
Yeah lah, so mine was new BMTC.
new one
lah.
is all. Isn't the new BMTC like all built up and multiple storied bunks?
multiple story bunks. What do you mean? The bunk is
Yeah,
like,
with the jogging track that was like spongy.
Ah,
like
yeah
the
lah,
ones
yeah
that you
lah.
have in
Modern
the-
lah, modern one.
Then, that's so strange.
Why?
Okay.
Ah,
Oh, I thought the new one was all multi-story bunks, no more single story already.
no, mine was multi-story. Mine was 5 stories.
Correct. Okay, right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Mm.
So what I'm saying, mine was
Okay,
a
okay.
5-story bunk with the single bed, not double decker, king coil.
Mm.
Compared to the old one, like the Changi 3-door bunk, was just one long house with double beds throughout.
Correct.
Yeah, that was the old style.
Right. Well, lots of sharing about Tekong. Everyone's sharing from Tekong here. Very nice. Okay, wait. So two things. So we've talked about the lady on the Jacob's Ladder, right? For those who do not know the original story, right? Okay, let us old folks tell you the story, right? So originally, what I heard was that there used to be a kampong there, right? There used to be a kampong there, and a lady, I guess she was the wife of a fisherman or something, right? And he went out to sea. And then there was a storm and he never came back, right? And she died of grief, right? And so she continues sitting on the Jacob's ladder, watching for her husband to come back from sea. So one ghost waiting for another ghost, right? And that was quite a sad story, right? But I guess over time, her story has become more dramatic. So now I don't know why is she pissed off at him and why she's wearing red. If he comes back, she's gonna kick his balls. Maybe she found out why he left, and he's not dead at sea. He's come back to mainland and has a mistress, and then now she changed to red color.
Now he
So
wishes
that
he was
could be
dead.
one possibility. Now he wishes she was there. Yeah, maybe all along he lived in Singapore.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I'll just send me a screenshot of the map. This blue
Is this like
circle
classified?
is where the Jacob's ladder is in the story. So it's quite near.
This is the
based on the previous story just now we read.
hello. What scale? What scale is this? What scale is this? Okay, no lah, that is not near. Okay, so all right. I'm pointing my finger as if everyone can see, but no, obviously not. So okay, in the old Cam 1, right? You literally could, I don't know, within 50 yards from the Jacob's ladder, you'll be in the water.
Okay lah.
It's that near. It's literally on the beach.
If I put the
Now it's kind of,
no. But see, if the map is small, it looks very far. But if I enlarge, it looks very near. See, very near to the water. There.
Maybe, but that's not the sea, right?
Then the blue one is not the sea.
Is
Then
that
what
the
is it?
sea?
The green is
Why
the
the
land.
sea got land on all? Why the land got three? Why the sea got land on 3 sides?
我不知道啦.
Is it not a lake?
Don't
Is
know.
it not a lake or a pond? Your sea very small. Your sea is very tiny. It looks like a pond. Okay, never mind. We don't know. Okay, we have no sense of geography. Okay, but anyway, anyone who goes to Tekong next, okay, you have duties to do. Okay? You have to figure out for us. You smuggle one camera in and you okay, every Jacob's ladder.
Paris Material said it's in an open field facing the sea lah.
Still, not the Cam 1 lah, the old Cam 1, yes lah. The old Cam 1, yes. But not the new one. Not the new one, right? Don't know. Okay, nobody knows. Okay, anyway, right. So okay, we put her aside for a moment. Okay, now we move on to the second story, right? Where they were smelling, right?
Oh.
So do you think that they were sort of hiding from the Miss P, or what? Or was it the RSM's the RSM's perfume or something else?
No, I also asked, is it Thursday night? He said cannot remember. It's been too long ago. It's probably some random weekday nights, not weekends. And on one hand, I'm really thinking they really got spooked out. So they go to anywhere, even they smell something, it's just going to trigger a fear in them. Yeah. So not sure why that small hut have any haunting. And that's why I double check. I say, is there a reputation? Like the Jacob's ladder got reputation.
Yeah.
Does that small hut have reputation? Apparently the sergeant didn't mention anything about it. So maybe it's not keras enough, or it's not a recurring haunting. So this could then be I'm thinking, could the Jacob ladder hantu follow them? B,
okay.
B, because already they might be a Thursday night, maybe they didn't know, they weren't aware of it, and then all these hauntings are there. And we know the Tekong ghosts, they're all around the place, and they don't even intend to scare you sometimes. They're just there. That's their land. So by the time they wait 30 minutes for the other group to come, the Pontianak, like, okay lah, screw this. Go somewhere else already. Yeah, I'm thinking it's one of these two.
Okay, what is the possibility that it was really just flowers?
No lah.
There are flowers that bloom at night, like Lai Xiang, for example. There are flowers that, and with the wind blowing, since you are near the sea, right, the sudden shift in wind direction brings the smell here, and then after a while, the wind shifts and the smell is gone. Right? But as they are freaked out already, they will be hypersensitive to this, right? They've heard the stories, and they think that, there are no flowers at night. Of course there are flowers at night. What do you mean? So we always tend to forget that the easiest explanation for flowers, for the smell of flowers at night, is the smell of flowers at night. Full stop. Right? Because if you know your Pontianak law, if the smell doesn't change, then it's not Miss P. So this is the test, right? So some people, they hear a bit of ghost story, they read Russell Lee, and then they get overexcited, right? And then sometimes they imagine, right? But if the story ends there, you smell the flower and then the flower goes away, either it is flowers or is Pontianak really just passing by. Okay, it's not. Don't consider yourself having encountered a Pontianak. It's a Pontianak decided, look at you and went, nah, forget it.
Yeah.
And went away.
So
Okay.
for this, my take is the based on the smell. It could be flower blow in. You take a whiff of it, fear already kicking in. You assume it's Pontianak. 2, there was a real Pontianak. It didn't bother with you. It's just passing through.
Correct.
And
because if she's really in the hut with you, what is supposed to happen is, come Eugene, we fill in the gaps.
So first you
For those who
smell
don't know,
the fragrant smell, right? And then maybe one of you dumb acknowledge her. Hey, what's that smell, Then the smell from flower smell turn to rotting smell. That one, if you tell me, I will say yes. Likely,
Yep.
it's Pontianak.
And in fact, I know from not my own experience, but a close friend who kena before, it changes very fast. It changes very fast
that one.
because she was followed into the lift by the Miss P, right? And from the ground floor to her floor, which was I think 15 or 16, it already changed. So within one lift ride, okay, the smell of perfume becomes the smell of rotting flesh, right? So if that happens, then yeah, she's there.
Another example would be your friends smell fragrance, you smell rotting. Both of you cannot smell the same thing. That's another clue that she's there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I was investigating one plantation, and the person was telling me, "Hey, what's that smell?" I was like, "Oh fuck, it's them rotting lah." And he's like, "No, it's floral." And I'm like, "We can't be smelling the same thing because it's overwhelming." Like what you use the word overwhelming. So that's another clue. But so far, based on the evidence that you give us in your story, it's just a floral smell, full stop. Then hard to say lah. Hard to say. Cannot confirm that it's a Pontianak.
So Imagine Lions is saying can also be civet cat musk, not just flowers. This is maybe a horny civet cat has sprayed his musk somewhere.
Smells like frangipani.
You're being turned on by it. I have no idea. Go and have a sniff and let's find out. The smell of fart means what? It means all the ghosts will run away straight away. Wow. Okay. So we don't know. Not conclusive, right? But it is clear that everyone in this story is sort of living under this fear, lah. Right? With the officer shifting their with the sergeant shifting their duty to sentry, and so who is the one who had to do prowling after that then? Because someone's got to do the prowling, right? You cannot just say, oh.
No, you swap with the century lah. Then you
So
don't
is
tell them the
someone-
story.
Another unsuspecting one, lah.
But what I really want to know
Poor thing.
is the Encik
Yeah.
that appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. Is he even really existing or not? Suddenly you go back and say, yeah lah, the Encik punished me. Then who's the Encik? The one with the moustache lah down there walking around. Hey, bro, there's no Encik with the description. He's dead 10 years ago. That would be a real haunting. Oh!
Okay, so I first thought that because the Encik appeared right after the smell,
He's the
so
one.
that he was the Miss P in disguise. Either in disguise or he bought some cheap perfume from somewhere and it's not working. but okay lah, then probably not.
At night, the
But I
Encik
mean,
is a
okay,
cross-dresser.
so like
He sprayed on woman's perfume.
And stands on Jacob's ladder.
No, he's the hut. He's 1 hour later.
Okay.
He's the hut one.
So going back to the Jacob's ladder for a moment, right? What he saw in the puddle, what do you think? Was it a reflection of the orangey red thing, or was it the light?
Okay.
Because he did make a point that it was orangey red.
My
Right?
sense,
So, Yeah. How?
From
your
what
sense?
I remember of the pathway in Pulau Tekong, yes, there are lamps, so it's not total darkness. But the Jacob's Ladder portion, the SOC portion, they are actually off the path into the grass patch where there is no light. So it's not likely from the reflection of that angle you capture the glowing red beacon of the
Not
Jacob's.
glowing lah.
No, but it must be bright enough for the reflection, ma, right? If she's just wearing
fair
red
enough.
and it's dark, she's sitting in the dark, it's not going to reflect enough on the puddle of water for it to be, I spot
Yeah.
a orangey glow. So if the way you could spot her she's beaming in the dark. So I don't think so. I think because you were already told she was red, your friend walked past you, say, I saw her. You look down, the first red thing you see
You panicked.
is going to be her. Right? So
In my mind, it was more cinematic because I thought that he looked in the puddle, and the reason why he could see the color was because she's right above him. So he looked, and her dress is right there, right? But okay lah.
no,
That
because
would
now
be nice.
because
But
now
okay.
we know that she can move. What? She's not stuck to that bloody lock. She can move.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, of
see
course she
her,
can.
you look away, then she comes and fly towards you. Then you look down, you see
Correct.
reflection. She's actually above you.
Because the friend already acknowledged, right? If she's waiting to see whether the guards are the prowlers are gonna acknowledge, the friend already acknowledged. So she's like,
Lucky you
the
never
games
look
begin.
up. Can you imagine this as a short film?
Correct. Yeah, this will be our favorite short film of the season. Okay, if it was.
Aren't you glad
You
you,
look
didn't
up.
look up?
Yeah, you would have seen your RSM in full drag. I know you don't look. Oh, it's the officer. It's the officer.
Knock it
It's
down
the
20.
officer in a dress. So many possibilities to this
Oh
story.
man, okay. Good one. So the title of this
Okay.
short film will be Don't Look Up.
Okay, so anyone out there who has a son going into BMT, you know what he has to do for us. Okay, please find out. Please find out more. Please sneak us photographs of the exact location of the Jacob's Ladder, the sea, and any lampposts around that might be orange.
I feel like the SC
We need
community
to
has a
test this.
has a responsibility.
I mean, look, if we could get access to that place, we would totally do a replay, right? We just sort of reconstruct the thing. Okay, you have a red dress, you can wear it, you can climb the Jacob's Ladder, all right? And I will pour puddles of water, and I'll see whether it can reflect you or not. It'll be a great episode.
Then Alsatian will be asking, can see upskirt or not? I try lah. Okay, I show you like Alsatian, and I take upskirt for you. You see rambutan.
Okay, that was great.
Okay, next one. John, this is over to you. You'll be reading this
Okay,
next confession.
wait.
Ah,
I'm curious about the photo. You want to share the photo?
when you're giving the
it a
confession,
good photo
I
to
load up
share?
lah. Otherwise, I load
Okay,
up
can,
now
can,
very
can,
messy. You read, I load up.
Can.
I
Okay,
work
hold
behind
on,
the
let me
scenes.
open my- All right. So, any context to this one?
Let me read. This one's by confession by
It's from Michael.
Michael.
No one. Who's Michael? Anyone we know? Is Michael in the chat today?
He's in the community.
Okay.
Nope, I think we'll talk
Okay,
about
Michael
this.
has.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael has 3 short stories. I'll read the first one, then we'll talk about it, and then we'll carry on. Because I think the first one very, very worth discussing.
Okay.
Okay.
So one by one, Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Confession by Michael.
For those who have been to Tekong Island, there is a main road that connects most of the training facilities and leads out of the basic military training camp. A particular stretch of this road is strangely dark, with street lamps either not working or missing. Along this road is a lonely single lane leading to a facility, possibly the ammo dump, where one of the duty sergeant major checkpoints is located. As a duty driver, I often drove the sergeant major to this checkpoint, where he usually tapped onto something without leaving the vehicle. This checkpoint was known for strange occurrences, with a boy and his grandma sometimes appearing. While assisting the new sergeant major one night, he instructed me to cut engine and wait. He got out of the Land Rover, and soon after, a chill ran up my spine. I heard the unmistakable sound of a plastic ball from a mama shop bouncing on the road. Pang, pang, pang. The sound came more profoundly into the dark road, and I noticed the sergeant major reacting to it. I quickly started the engine and switched on the headlights, half hoping not to see anything. Seeing nothing, I performed a 3-point turn and stopped beside the sergeant major. With a knowing nod, he tapped the checkpoint and climbed back into the vehicle, visibly shaken. The mystery of the bouncing ball lingered in the air, leaving us with more questions than answers. As I accelerated, the sound of the plastic ball grew louder, audible even over the rover's engine. Pang, pang. The following day, we talked briefly about the incident, trying to debunk how such a sound could happen. Eventually, we agreed it was unexplainable and better to never speak of it again while on the island. Okay, I know what my solution is. Okay, tell me what you thought, Eugene.
I think for anyone who wants to be Inche, one of the requirements is that balls of steel. You know, that's how the Inche is damn kick-ass one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The first
What do
thought
you
when
think
I
it
was
was?
listening to the confession, and he says he starts his engine and turn. Part of me just went, it's not going to start. It's just going to go.
Ah, if he's in a horror movie, for sure.
So it's a very
So
strange
you want to
thing.
know what I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Mm.
I don't
Okay.
have a strong
I'm-
theory on this.
Okay, so he said that he heard this ball bouncing on the road, right? And then it got louder, so loud that he could hear it over the engine, right? So first of all, I'm thinking, okay, I've never heard a dirt road, and I'm assuming this was a dirt track, or even even if it was tarmac or anything, right? Giving such resonance that that a ball could make that much noise. I'm imagining that, right? Because if you're talking about those mama shop type of balls, right, the colorful ones, right? Yes, they are hard. They are a little bit boing. There's a certain boing 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 to them, but I cannot imagine them being louder than an engine, right? The only reason why it's louder than the engine.
Oh no.
Yes, you got it.
Is
right? It is
Inside
on
them?
top.
Oh,
The
stop.
rover.
It's a hit. It's not even a ball.
Okay, but that's also because we love the original hit on the top of the car stories, lah, right? Okay, that's the old Singaporean urban legend. Okay, right, could be right. I mean, you imagine it's in the road because the last place you want to imagine it is on top of you or in the against the side of your car or whatever, right? Okay, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, this one requires us to test it. We have to buy the ball, go to Tekong and go and bounce. And let's find out. Can it be heard? Can it be heard louder than the engine? Maybe it was on the road first. Right? Then when he started the engine, boom, onto the top, then dang, 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 carry on. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, but that's us relishing a good story. Okay, but what do you think is the actual believability and the law behind this? You notice also that he mentioned the old lady and the grandmother and child,
Yeah, classic.
right? Which is very classic, but I've never heard of them in the road.
They always in
Right?
a bunk.
I think the OG story of Tekong and grandmother and child is always in the bunk. And yes, sometimes the child has a ball. Right? Sometimes the child has a ball because that's also such a trope, right?
But see, after he visit the bunk already, everyone went to sleep. Then you have to go back home. So they walk back to the kampong.
Okay. I see.
Amma, got one Land Rover coming leh. Boy, don't bounce your ball, Oops, tock.
And then why don't we take a lift from the Land Rover? Come boy, climb up. Then jump, bang. Okay, so quite possible. So okay, we've explained it.
You know what I want to do? I want to film horror movie, but from the point of view of the Hantus.
Always trying to get a lift and never succeed.
Why they always run away from us? No manners, these people.
Wow. Okay, I think that it would be really good to do a whole series just going to Tekong and reenacting all of these things. It'll be so cool, I tell you. Wow. Okay, so yes, the ball. All right. So at first, it sounded very mysterious because he mentioned how the sergeant major would tap on something outside the rover. And at first, I thought like he's doing some ritual, but okay, it's not, right?
No, like it's checkpoint.
Okay. Then the checkpoint. Maybe he's tapping the little boy on the head like kwai. Don't disturb us, okay? Kwai.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No logical
Yes, two
explanation
more.
for this. So we'll just leave it as it's one of the classics. And I'm going with the head bouncing on the top of the Land Rover.
Someone suggested do a short film of Hantu in training at Tekong. I love the idea. Is where army trains, but it's also where all the ghosts go and train. So there are all these children learning to bounce the ball, right? Like bounce regularly. Don't anyhow. You must follow the rhythm. Otherwise, not scary. And then, why you lost your ball? Go and pick it up. Go and pick it up.
Hantu go army.
Yeah, to go army. Oh my God,
Okay.
Jack Leo. Are you hearing this? Okay, all right. All right. These are the other two stories from Michael. Okay, these are also from Tekong. All right. I think I'll read both. And
Okay.
then we'll talk about them.
You read both, huh?
Okay. Are
Okay.
they both from Tekong? Are they both? Yes, they are both from Tekong.
And
Okay.
over to you, John.
Along the main road on Tekong Island lies an abandoned camp known as Old BMTC. This camp is infamous for the Charlie Company third door story, a tale that has been passed down among soldiers. The road cuts through the camp along the side of a hill, with barracks visible above on one side and the swimming pool downhill on the other. As a driver, I often saw human shaped figures in that pool, especially during late night drives. It was hard to tell if they were swimming, but they were definitely there. Towards the end of my national service, I never told anyone about these sightings, fearing that they might not believe me or that it might bring bad luck. While serving a suspect company in Tekong, we trained at an area called Fibua, a former Malay village that has been refurbished for urban ops training. This area is significant as it provides a realistic setting for urban operations training. As part of the training, we spent a night there. A trainee went missing the following day after a routine head count, prompting a search that lasted most of the morning. One of the drivers, accompanied by the master sergeant, found the trainee in the end at the old BMTC camp. He was brought to the medic area, where I could ask how he ended up so far away. He explained that he had dreamt of a girl dragging him through the woods at night, unable to escape her grip. When I jokingly asked if he had peed on a tree without saying sorry the previous day, he admitted that he had. Jang, jang, jang. See lah, anyhow pee lah. Quite predictable. You kena ghost means you must have done something lah. You must have done something.
Classic. Classic. That sounds just like my
But
grandma.
I want to know how he got. What? That your grandma used to drag soldier boys into the woods.
Anything that happens to me, it's like, what do you do? Who you offend?
Yeah. It's like, do you step on something? Do you? Yeah. It's for sure. There are all these rules, lah, right? There are all these rules. There are all these pantangs, right? And you straight away go to them first, right? Which is a good attitude, I think. It's uniquely Asian, right? To straight away think, how have I offended them? How can I say sorry? Right? Rather than, what is this spirit, this intruder? I must cast you out.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude. So yeah, I think it's a humble and culturally sort of ingrained kind of attitude towards these things, right? Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask, right?
Yeah.
How did he escape from this girl who was dragging him through the woods?
It's like a nightmare.
Because he remembered that part. But then he didn't remember how so then he conked out.
It's one of those, and like
And
there's
then
no
he woke up
beginning,
and
no
he was-
end. Yeah, so he had a nightmare. He woke up.
Okay.
Then the nightmare was a sign that he has offended spirit. Probably went back, said sorry, then case closed.
Okay. So do you think then that the girl dragging him to the woods was, because here we're dealing with two things here, right? A, we're dealing with the spirits and their intentions, and B, how dreams often sort of quote things in ways that we recognize them, right? So it's not necessarily the case that because he dreamt the girl was dragging him to the woods, it means that it was a female ghost and she was dragging him to the woods, right? It could totally be some other spirit. It could totally be, the RSM in his red dress. It could have been anything. But because he's dreaming, right, and he's heard stories about girls on Jacob's Ladder and all that, he has filled it in. His mind has filled it in with his reading of it, right? So what do you think? Do you think that there is a correlation between peeing under a tree and gonna dragged away by female ghosts, or something else happened the orang bunyan got him, or
Maybe he's
someone
just
else got
horny
him,
lah.
he
He's just thinking of a girl dragging him to the woods
exactly.
lah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I wanted to know how it ended. You see, because
Yeah.
that would help. That would help understand.
Yeah.
If he cannot drag the drag, then he ended up in some Ewok village and they had an orgy. Then that's one type of explanation, right? On the other hand, the fact that it ended with no ending makes it more suspicious for me, right? No happy ending means it was probably supernatural. What do you think?
But I think it's a bit of a sleepwalking case as well, because he sleepwalked to the old BFTC, right? So there's a physical.
So you think he sleepwalked?
Because there's a
He
physical
wasn't
change of
transported.
look.
Spirited. He could have been
Spirited away.
spirited there. Exactly. Right. There are cases there's evidence of both cases lah.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think? Was he teleported there, or was he?
There's no evidence of him being teleported. Like, say if he says, I was sleeping in my t-shirt and shorts. Then when I woke up, I was in old BMTC camp, but my feet has no mud, nothing. I was just as I was. Sure, spirited away. But in this case, again, no evidence, no details of such things. I would imagine he had a dream of being dragged. He sleepwalked. Like those people who dream about flying off the balcony, right? Some ghost is pulling them, but in real life, they're actually sleepwalking up to the balcony and about to jump off, right? So I imagine that that version, physically moving to that place.
I see.
But
Actually,
if he's found there,
there's no ending. There isn't also.
He's found there, but he's unlike some of the other more Kara story where the Charlie company, where the guy was brought to the forest, then his innards was all out. This guy was dragged to the old BMTC camp, then he woke up perfectly fine. No problem.
Yeah. So there is a precedent lah, right? This one kind of fits a little bit into that whole idea of the kidnapped and organs removed story, right? That there is some sort of pattern or trend, right, of taking soldiers away from their bunks in the middle of the night, right? I'm thinking, okay, wait, he disappeared. He was found missing the following day after a routine head count, meaning that he didn't turn up in the morning lah, right? So he disappeared at night. Right, he didn't disappear in the middle of training, right? So he should have been okay. So yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
But
okay.
I also think that when you are missing and you cannot be found, and you're found in another camp, right? People won't be joking with you. You are in serious trouble, bro. It's not a ha moment. It's like, hey, please go report. This is camp wide commandant level. You are fucked.
Yeah, it does feel like they took it kind of casually. It's like, oh, he's back. Okay, never mind.
So how do you pee the tree?
For example, the question that you asked, for example, right, whether or not he had mud on his feet, whether he was even wearing shoes, right? What was he wearing what he wore when he went to sleep, right? And all that. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to know if these questions were asked and what was the result, right? So, Michael, if you know more, please let us know. Right, if it seems like the ending came very suddenly, so we missed out on was there an investigation? Even the guy himself is like, oh yeah, I did. So the ghost punished me. Oh well, anyway.
Moving on.
Everyone's sort of shrugging it off.
Forgot that I missed camp. Forgot that I missed exercise today. Forgot I've teleported to an old camp. Let's life goes on.
That would be a very good way to get up exercises, though.
Yeah. Hey, Tay, where were you? Don't
dawn.
know, sir. I got nightmare. Then I was at the old BMTC. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss exercise. Paiseh. The ghost called me.
Yeah, and dragged me to the canteen, then made me buy coffee and char kway teow.
Not me, sir. It's the hantu.
Forced me to buy offerings of food and take to the beach and have a picnic. It's not me. Okay, someone's saying my camera is blurry. Oh no, are the spirits blocking? Am I pixelating?
Yeah, it's a bit
What's
blurry
going on?
today.
Am I a bit blurry today?
Yeah, it's a bit blurry today.
Yeah, it looks a bit blurrier than before.
Wish more.
Okay.
Okay, I'll sort
Let's
this out.
see if Eugene, if you can do some magic.
You want to do the next story, or shall I look at the photos first?
Come, let's do the photos. Since I'm blurry, let's do the photos.
Okay, so this is one of the
Ooh,
photos. You talk
okay,
about
what's
Jacob's ladder.
Okay.
So this is where the Jacob's ladder is. You can see that.
Why did? Why the Jacob's ladder so small then the circle so big?
No lah, that means the whole SOC is there lah.
Oh, okay, that's the whole SOC. Okay,
Then
okay, I see that.
This is the one without circle.
Where's the water?
Uh,
Okay.
Water.
Yeah lah, so it's not near the water lah.
No, it's near. Near-ish, you
It's
see.
not really near the water.
You see, near-ish. It's facing the
Okay.
water. And Paris actually sent me another article to say that due to the land reclamation in Tekong, you have a lot of areas that look like lagoons and lakes in there. Yeah, but it's facing the water. It's
Okay.
see the water is there, then the stretch of
Yeah. So that's a sort of a little lagoon lah, right? That's why it looks like a pond, right? Because it's that narrow, right? Okay. Which would be quite silly if she's waiting for her husband and she's staring at a lagoon. She should be staring at the open sea lah. Okay, but maybe that was the open sea and then kind of blocked.
It was at one point.
Fair enough.
Okay. Now the photos from
Okay.
Fox. I show you.
Ooh, come. Let's do some. Ooh.
You can see that.
Wow.
It's
I-
a guy is photos from you
Oh.
cannot see. It's a guy kneeling down. His uniform is unbuttoned and there's a deep gash in his chest cavity area and his
n-
innards are all placed in front of him. So I must enlarge a bit.
I can't see his face very well. Is he's staring at his organs?
No, his eyes are rolled up. His eyes
Or
are
is he
rolled up.
dead? And if he's dead, what's holding him up?
His eyes rolled up. He's not dead. He's not dead.
Oh, okay.
This one is him looking down.
He's not dead. It looks like his organ. Yeah, it kind of looks like his organs just dropped out. Like, oops, shit.
No, it's arranged right. The story is that it's arranged neatly, like as if it's weapon strip.
Yeah, correct. But in the original story, it was arranged on either side of him, and he was lying down.
No,
so this one's a bit of
the
a
story
more
I heard
creative,
was him kneeling
take.
down, and it's in front of him. That's the story I heard.
Kneeling down.
Kneeling down, and his innards are all in front of him, not lying down, and it's not by the side. It's in front. Like you know when you strip,
okay.
you know like when
Because-
you do rifle strip, right? You kneel down and you shoot
Yep.
a rifle. That's a position.
Right. So my other version was different. It was not a strip rifle. It was a standby. So everything was laid out the way you lay out your backpack.
Oh, like that.
And so
is
it
it?
was he was lying on a ground sheet, right? And all his organs were arranged on either side, as if he was the backpack, and he was unpacked. So but I guess it's a different context, lah. Yeah. So there's either the rifle version or the backpack version, right? Wow. Okay. What's this? I see. Is this a hand in front?
Hand? Which one? What are you looking at?
Oh, I'm looking at the picture on. Yeah, I'm seeing a hand.
I don't see a
Why
hand.
do I see a hand?
I see a guy kneeling down holding a rifle, and his innards are out.
Eh? Okay, no, it was just the ruffles in the ground sheet that made it look like hands. Okay. Okay.
Now this is him holding
Scare me.
his.
Okay.
This is him holding. his innards.
Okay. Very nice. Fox Fu, please tell us what these shots were for. Was it just a creative exercise, or was it for something? Because whatever this is for, it will be very.
He's a cosplay photographer. Now I'm wondering if this is digitally inserted in or is actually real props.
Oh. Can't tell from this resolution, but it would be very nice if they were real props. Okay, everyone's saying that I am in very low res. Shall I log in again?
I'm not sure why. Okay, maybe you can try logging
How's my signal? How's my signal doing? Same as just now?
Yeah, 3 bars only, not 4. 3 bars. You're a bit struggling.
Okay.
I think it could be a Wi-Fi
Okay.
actually.
Wait, okay. Okay, let me log in again. See you guys in a moment.
Okay, while we wait for John to come back. Let's go to the comment section and see what you guys have for me. You need a new cam. Yeah lah. I think John's cam is quite new. It's only about 2 years. It's 1080p, the same as mine. I think it's his Wi-Fi that's an issue, not so much his cam. Ghost hair covering John's camera.
I'm back. Am I better?
Xiao Xiang leh.
Nee, che.
I think it's your connection.
Nee. Okay. Well, that's the best we got tonight. Okay,
Okay, we'll figure this out then next time, before next week. But last week was okay.
What is it?
Last week was okay. We didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why is it always John? Yeah lah.
You
'Cause
never
I'm the one.
bye. I just I asap.
Because I'm the one dialing in, so I'm always the one. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay.
Did I miss anything interesting in the
Okay.
chat? Because I didn't get to look at the chat for some time.
Paris thinks I'm using a filter. Okay. Someone says the innards are laid out and the guy kneeling are all fake. Huh? What do you mean? As in in the original story, or not in the photo. Okay. Debunked by the dead recruit's platoon mate.
Oh, what's the story?
I don't know. You have to ask. Who is this? Mavreds, please tell us a bit more. Yeah. I actually did interview someone who was there at the same time as this recruit. And he was a medical. So he also saw what came into the medical center afterwards. So, but yeah, that would be another day lah.
Mavericks, if you could get in touch with me, let me know what's the other version. That'd be great. Then we can.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the idea of the standby thing was a very artistic touch. Very artistic touch, and probably a little bit more creative than I think our hantu are lah in general. You know, I can believe that they disemboweled him, but I don't think they bothered to like arrange so nicely, like omakase menu like that. You know, he was well plated. You know, I don't think so. But yeah, let me see.
I'm reading from the comment section that people say you are lagging, and I think
it's
got to do with your Wi-Fi today, because I only see a three bars instead of usual 5, and it's alternating between green and yellow.
Oh no. Okay, now nothing I can do about my Wi-Fi. It's well beyond my control. Imagine Malayans has said something very interesting. New and old, they revised the entire course, so they built the new SOC where the old SOC was.
Oh,
Is this true? Wow. That would explain a lot. So she is still there because literally they put the Jacob's ladder back where, or maybe they never moved it, right? Because why bother, right? You know, so troublesome to move. So she is still there. So the only thing that changed was she went from white to red. What happened there? But then it's also quite easy for people seeing her in the light. And if all the lights around there were orange, then she would never have looked that white, I guess.
Maybe.
I'm surprised nobody said the ghost in the orange gown. So they went for the closest trope, which is red lah. Right? Because she would have appeared orange, right? I know that when I was in Tekong, this was back when we still use oil in the lamps. But there was no orange light. I believe it was white. So then she would have appeared in white. And then if subsequently the lights were warm lighting, then she would have only been seen as a orangey ghost.
I got an update from Michael, who says one of the bigger questions was how the Inche even knew where to look for the trainee.
Did the Incheck go specifically to that point, or did he just search everywhere and then found him there?
No, because the Fibor site is very far, but Inche beeline to that camp.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the impression that he be like. I thought they searched the whole island and then sort of someone had to find him somewhere lah. Oh, if he beeline, then that's very suspicious. So there's a pattern perhaps that he knows, right? Is this the same? Okay,
It's the same Inche.
It's the same Inche with the floral scent.
Inche number 5.
So fun. Okay.
You can do the next one? The next confession?
Yes. Okay. Wait. Hold on.
Because it's 11:11 already. We're not even halfway
Oh
through
no!
yet.
Yikes. Okay. Sound wise, I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
So everyone can hear me,
Sound
even though
okay.
I'm lagging. Okay. Wow. This one got parts, right? Let me see. Shall we do 2 parts? Then we can discuss, because the two quite different in topic.
Sure. Go ahead. The
Okay.
two parts, and we discuss together.
Yeah. Can.
Take it away.
Stagmont Camp. Confession by Tristan. I went to Stagmont Camp for the Signal Trooper course back in 2017. The accommodation block is well known to be haunted, especially on the top floor. However, I stayed on the top floor for a good 1 year, but only had one encounter to share, and that was during my first month of the trooper course. I was the appointed platoon IC for that day, and I rallied my platoon down for 5BX, the morning exercise. I was the last man to leave after doing a head count to make sure that no one was left behind. While standing at the stairs facing the toilet, I saw a super thin, dark figure run off to the right, heading in the direction of our bunk. Anyone who's been to Stagmont knows there are 3 staircases in the L-shaped block, one on each end of the block and one in the middle. I was standing at the middle staircase. This figure I saw resembled one of my platoon mates, a Chinese fella who was super thin and tall as well. Though the shadow figure was a lot thinner and taller, my rational mind assumed that what I had seen was my Chinese platoon mate. I called out to him, but there was no response. I rushed over to the bunk, only to find that it had already been locked. The shadow figure must have gone right through the door. Instantly, I knew something was wrong. I freaked out and sprinted down 2 flights of stairs. My entire platoon, every man accounted for, was standing there in formation. I asked, "Guys, did anyone just run down right before me?" My guy said, "No. Tristan, you were up there for a while. We were all waiting for you." I'm certain that there was no way for anyone to make it down faster than I did. That was just the first of many encounters in army.
You want to go to the second one, or you want to discuss this?
Let's discuss this. Because next one is a different camp.
Okay, so this kind of sightings of your mate or someone walking through locked door is also another common occurrence in camp. Even Tekong is famous for this. Stagmont camp, Seletar camp. It's almost like there's this. We call it the doppelganger effect. The spirit takes on the form of someone that you know. And it's not just the army camp, guys. You hear the HDB stories. I saw my husband walk there, then I called my husband, then actually my husband just returning home from work, or my father or my mother or somebody. Then in the previous times, we say it could be the Hantu Raya, if it's a Malay family, it's maybe because it's the guardian spirit, the jinn. But in this case, in Tekong, could be a spirit with no form, but taking on a form of someone that they have identified. Pretty much like a bit like the Predator.
Are you gonna say Skinwalker? I thought.
No. I was about to say Predator. The Predator.
Right.
When they hear you speak, they can record it and then they can play it back. So in this case, the spirit with no form can take on the form of someone that they see.
This one not Tekong, this one's Stagmont.
Okay,
right? But yeah, it is quite common, I think, for doppelgangers to appear in army camps. My army camp last time, Beach Road, right? Me and Mark Shippo, hello, right? We used to be there, and there were quite a number of doppelganger sightings, but only in one particular office. So there was a connection between this spirit and the office, lah. But this one right now, right, feels a bit different because first of all, it's not 100% clear that it's a doppelganger, because it was his assumption that because tall and thin, closest to that bunkmate, right? But he himself also admits it's a shadow figure. So I'm like, okay, wait, why did alarm bells not go off when you could not see features? It can't be that dark that you saw this dark shape and thought, oh, that's my bunkmate.
In Tristan's defense, I think when you see a spirit or a ghost in broad daylight, especially this is 5BX in the morning, you don't, your irrational mind will kick in first and try to deny what you see as something unnatural. So you see a shadow creature, but it's probably not like you see the shadow creature walking for a few seconds.
It must have been quite fast. It must have been
it's like you
brief sighting.
Yeah, you head count, and you see like a glimpse, someone walking past. By the time you turn, he's already gone through to the right. So I think it's more that. And he also actually in a confession, he actually gave me a bit more information, which I will relate to you guys. He said the L-shaped block, so 2 stairs. Yeah. He wanted to debunk his own experience. So he says he's in the middle.
Debunk.
And the distance to take from the time he saw the entity for the entity to logically, if it's a person, to run either way.
Okay.
It's too long. You have turned the corner on either side. You have seen this guy Walking around the corridor. So he said, it's not. There's nobody.
Right. Okay. It's interesting because I mean, I'm just trying to classify it, lah, right? So if it was such a brief encounter that he had no chance to see features, right, and so his mind just sort of went, okay, must be the tallest, thinnest guy in my platoon, right? That's fair enough, right? But that also means that then high chance that it wasn't a doppelganger. It was just a shadow figure.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it was Slender Man. Right? So it was just something because he also did very quickly note that it seemed taller and thinner. So he was able to at least register something.
And he knows it was something wrong already. Like he says immediately,
Correct.
I felt something was wrong. And but he was still trying to maybe there's an explanation for this.
Yeah, fair enough. Right. I think that makes sense. So I think what he saw was not necessarily a doppelganger, but it was some sort of shadow figure, right? Which we also heard a lot about last week, right? They seem to like to haunt army camps. But okay, the reason why I like this story is because I was from Stepmon camp. Right, I was there for many months. Right, I was there training, and then I was out of course, and then I was there hanging around as a lobo for many months also. And in fact, at one point, somehow I don't even remember how, but someone passed me a key to the bunks, so I would go up there when everyone else was out training, and I was skive there, and I can sleep in the bunk and all that. And there was always, with the time I was there, I don't even know if this story was before my time or after my time, but there was one part of the L-shaped block that was locked up. There was a gate put across the corridor so that you could not access those bunks. I think there were 2 bunks that were behind a locked gate. And I'm thinking it's the top floor. So I don't know whether this story came along when they have decided to unlock the bunks and allow usage or not. Or maybe it was before, and therefore it's because of this skinny fella that the bunks were locked up. But that was always a bit of a mysterious thing for our time lah. Where people used to talk about it and speculate about it. But there were no stories lah. I didn't hear any. Interesting.
John, something just occurred to me.
What?
We don't know when you're born. You don't know when you're born. You are the man before time. You seem to be in too many places and experience so many things.
Yeah.
And you are always on the side of the hantu sympathizer, the hantu ally. Hantu is not at fault. I'm beginning to wonder if you're even alive or you are...
Yeah, you figured it out lah. I'm the RSM lah. Too bad we're online, so you can't smell the floral fragrance.
Yeah. My goodness. And I've not even seen your place, you know? It's just like...
Why
so
is it so
secretive.
shadowy?
Yeah.
Why is it so shadowy? Is this the same orangey red light that the red lady had?
One day I tried to surprise you, I bring kuih to your place, and your mother opened the door. I was like, huh? Jonathan? Jonathan? 没有住在这边啊，已经很久已经死了。
That would be very spooky because my mom can't speak Mandarin. But okay, yes. Totally. Neighbor. My neighbor tell you. Okay, so is Eugene right? Who knows? He will never live to tell the truth. Okay.
Okay. Any more discussion about this L-shaped block in Stagmon?
Anyone who was in Stepmon camp, please let us know, right? Help me verify if there was such a thing as a corridor that was chained up or locked up, right? And what time, when it was lah. Okay, it'll be quite nice to know. But okay, anyway, back to Tristan. He has another haunting to share with us. Okay. This one's Seletar camp. I like this one.
You wanna go or should I go for this one?
Can you do lah?
Because I was from Seletar camp.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I read this one. Seletar Camp Hauntings. Confession by Tristan. I served almost 8 years as an SAF regular. Most of my encounters have come during the 7th month. This happened when I was a platoon sergeant at 35 SCE. 35 Singapore Combat Engineers. 35 SCE is at Seletar Camp. Seletar is extremely notorious for ghostly encounters. It has seen through the wall. We have many buildings there still standing from those times. Doppelgangers are a common theme for me and my experiences throughout the years in army. One other incident happened at Seletar Camp during the 7th month. I was a guard commander, and anyone who has done guard duty at Seletar Camp will know that part of the prowling route covered the older portions of the camp, which was defunct, like the older S36 SCE buildings. These roads were dark, and unlit. I sent out my prowlers. To protect his name, I will call him Brian. Walkie-talkies were of course part of the SOP for prowlers to report back to me as guard commander. My prowlers went out for their patrol at 2 a.m. No comms back until 35 minutes into the patrol when I received a comms back from Brian. Prowler to guard room, message over. The message came in clear as day, and I recognized it was Brian's voice. I comms back. Guard com, send. No response. Till 45 minutes later, when Brian got back. Brian, you comms me, then why no response? Hey, PS, I didn't comms you, I didn't even bring the walkie-talkie because it would run out of battery. What? I said. How can? We walked into the guard room, and there it was. 4 walkies charging. They never left the building. So who comms me? And why did it sound exactly like Corporal Brian? Still spooks me till this day. Seletar is dirty, old, and really dirty.
Wow, this one is fantastic. I love the moment where they saw all the 4 walkies there, like, jang, jang, jang. Wow.
So I know
This one is a doppelganger. This is an audio doppelganger.
Yeah,
Audio
I know
doppelganger.
Seletar very well. I wasn't there for about a year. When I injured my leg and I was downgraded, so I spent a year in Seletar School of Logistics. If any of you know where it is, there's three forks. Three paths at Piccadilly Circus, left, middle, and right. So right, you go to different camps. There's the vehicle. The left side is SCE. The middle portion at the dead end is School of Logistics. So we do guard duty. We have to take food from different camps because we are too small a camp. So there's a lot of exchange of stories from people around the area. And when he say it was unlit, I can tell you there are some days the whole road is just dark. Or the lamp post is just very, very far apart, and the light is not your modern day street lamp in Singapore. Nowadays all upgraded, very bright. This is very, very dim.
Yikes.
Yeah, and the place just feels so rustic and feels so scary. And from the stories that you will hear next week from our featured confession, a lot of the stories of 35 SCE and Seletar, you will get an idea why anyone doing guard duty in Seletar would immediately feel it's Karas.
Wow. BD is sharing that Seletar camp got many Miss P. And that it was badly bombed by the Japanese. Interesting. All the old buildings are in Seletar camp, Sam Wong says.
No more liao.
Huh?
Torn down.
All gone.
Not all.
Ayah, wasted.
Most gone.
Oh no. Then were the Hantu relocated?
Nah, don't know. Maybe they're still there.
Again, right, it's a matter that MSA has to take up with HDB lah. How do we do proper relocation, proper rehoming? This type of thing cannot anyhow. You want to tear down building, you must make sure that all of the ghosts are fostered out to other homes.
I like what L Suex 3 is saying. John is a time traveler from BC. He knows too much.
If you only knew. Yeah. Next time you look in the photo, you see me in the background.
Like how there's this, what they call it, like Keanu Reeves and some of these other people that they compare with photos from the 1800s, and they said, these people live through those times. I might find, someone this bearded fellow look like someone I know.
No lah. One day when there's good enough technology and you go and digitally enhance all those photos where they circle in red, and then when you finally see the face in the smoke, it's me.
Hey, what beanie? That's why you wear beanie to break the cover.
With the beanie. Yeah. Yes. So it looks like my head very long. Okay, there's some updates. Ronald Wong was from Stagmont, and Ronald says, during my time in Stagmont, level 2 and 4 were gated up. Oh. Do you know why they were gated up? Was it a health reason? Was it a safety reason, or was it something else? I mean, if they're empty bunks, just leave them there, right? They can be locked. Why do they need to gate them up? Was it because one of the lobos got a key and goes there at lunchtime to sleep? Oh no, am I the reason? And then people saw figures of like one figure in the bunk that's supposed to be empty because everyone's out for training, and it was all me all along. I'm the ghost of that monk camp. Okay, but I'm not tall and thin, so how? Okay. So funny. Okay. Paris has a very good suggestion. He says, Paris says, the long hair DNA trace to my beard.
Then don't kali on it.
Oh no, yeah, that's true. Yeah, see, debunked. Paris, you are debunked. Oh no, okay, then it's not my upstairs beard, it's my downstairs beard.
you
Yikes.
you reborn, is it? Every morning you reborn before you go out.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, someone saying gated up and with talisman.
Wow.
Clarified was there in 2005. Gated up with talisman. Oh,
Wow.
that's very, very, very clear already. I think must investigate already. Okay, cool. I think this one goes up on my list of most Kara scams.
Okay.
Since there are parts of the camp that are openly being talismaned, right? That means it's an open secret already, yeah? So Stepmon is my number one.
and then we got 35 SCE. Two, right?
Seletar also.
Whole of Seletar. Okay, so do we count 35 SCE or do we count whole of Seletar? So Stepmon and Seletar.
I think whole of Seletar lah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this one done already?
Okay. Yes. Okay,
And
come. You still got some more, right?
One
from
more.
this guy?
This one I think you
I
like.
this one.
You go for this, huh?
Wait, hold on. Let me. Yeah.
This one you love it. I know you were like, oh, probably the scariest story tonight.
Yikes. Okay, hold on. I've misplaced it. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Ready? Over to you, John.
This happened during the tail end of the 7th month when my company was doing their live firing into the night. I was the Armscot IC back then, so naturally I had to stay in for my Friday night so that my boys could send in their arms once they came back about 1, 2 a.m. that night. It was extremely warm and I couldn't take the heat. So I picked up my blanket and my pillow from my bunk and headed to my platoon office on the 2nd floor. I got comfy on one of the cubicle tables. I laid my stuff down, put my ear pod into my right ear, switched off the lights, and called my wife. As soon as I put my head down, I heard the faint noise of an office chair moving in the far corner of the room. I think most army boys would know the sound of an office chair rolling across the tiles of the floor. It has a very obvious cluck, cluck sound as it rolls past the grouting of the tiles. I was speaking to my wife as I heard this noise, and I froze, trying to hear what was making this noise. My wife asked me over the phone, "Babe, why are you so quiet?" I didn't respond. Then I heard the chair move again. Cluck, cluck. I froze. Something didn't feel right. I started to reason with myself. 1, it's a Friday night. The battalion has booked out. 2, my whole company is away for live firing. 3, the only 2 people in this company line should be myself, the COS, and the orderly. I immediately froze. The hair on my neck started to stand. Then I heard the office chair move again. But this time, it was as if someone was sitting on it and rolling around the office. I count myself as quite a garang soldier. This wasn't my first Hantu experience in an army camp, but something really didn't feel right this time. For the very first time, I had a fight or flight response and my body chose flight. Usually when these things happen, I always find the courage to investigate. But this time, my body told me that whatever was in that room, it didn't want me there. I picked up my things and I ran out of the office. I pushed open the door, and on my right, outside the company office, was my COS talking to someone on the phone. "PS, you booked in already? I didn't see you." I asked. "Who's in the company line now?" My COS replied, "It's just me and Kevin. I looked up in the platoon office just now. Do you need the key?" I replied, "No thanks. I'm going back to my bunk." I ran up, placed my beret against the door of my bunk, and tried to get some rest. The next morning, I told my CSM about what happened, and he simply replied, "This is why I tell you guys not to sleep in the office at night." If anyone is a non-believer, trust me when I say this. The regulars of my battalion, and even some of the regulars from the brigade side, always come together during the 7th month to pool money for offerings and prayers. My battalion constantly works in the water as it is a bridging battalion. Water is part of our ops. We do regular prayers during along the bank to ward off evil and to seek protection. These are regulars of different races, different ranks, different ethnicities. Yet all of them believe that this practice is important. You may not be able to explain or believe these things, but even when non-believers practice giving offerings during 7 months, it says something. I have 2 other stories, but this experience is the one that hit me the hardest. It honestly humbled me because I never thought I would flee while in uniform. Ooh.
I can
Yes.
hear the chair in my mind.
Oh my god, chair on tiles. Oh my god, how noisy. Wow.
Would
And
you
then
would you say it's scarier to see or scarier to hear?
Scarier to hear because then there's still room for you to fill in the picture. Right? If you see, then the shock comes and then you run lah. Right? But that the hearing keeps you in suspense. Right? You don't know enough to run yet. Once you see, it's as if the dam has broken,
Yeah.
right? And just and if you're gonna go crazy, you go crazy lah,
Yeah.
But hearing it keeps you teetering on the edge of rationality. You're still fighting to say, what can it be? What can it be? Who's not here? Who is supposed to be here? And then so you're half being rational, but half already going crazy.
That's so that's what I feel as well. Like I can understand why this story you said is the most frightening tonight, because the fact that only a chair is moving, but there's so much that your mind is trying to figure out along the way, and then you hear the kak. So there's a battle internally.
Yeah. It's even worse if he said that it was getting nearer and nearer. But I don't know. But I get this because he finally describes that it sounded like someone who was rolling around the office. I'm like, oh my god, what is this thing doing? It's just purposely trying to drive him crazy, right? Trying to drive him out of the room. Wow.
And the part that he
What?
says, you can hear that someone's sitting on it. So the chair, if it's empty and moving along the way, is different from when there's a weight
Correct.
on it.
Yeah. Oh shit. I cannot. And then imagine, in my mind, I imagine that when he ran to the door, the chair will be blocking the door. Then just die lah. Just curl up under the table and die on the spot lah. But okay, so notice that what he did when he ran back to his bunk, right? He placed his beret there.
What
Right,
did we
so-
talk about last week?
Right? So for those who don't know, right, the army crest, right, that's available for $2 from Beach Road Camp is supposedly a very powerful talisman, right, that is symbolically blessed. So a lot of people, I guess, whether they believe or not, I think when that's the only thing you have, you use, you just use.
Yeah.
Wow. But I like also the sort of very personal touch that goes behind the story, that it led to him questioning himself. He never thought that for someone who has encountered these type of things before and who considers himself, a soldier, he's a regular and all that, right, that he would become so frankly, so chicken shit, right, because of this incident. It drove him to all thoughts of courage left his mind completely, not even investigating, not even looking
Precisely
back.
like what we said, because the start of the confession, he says, I got a lot of doppelganger experiences. So it's a lot of seeing, right? But this one is, you hear, you don't know where it is, and you're trying to figure out. So, like what we explained, why it's scariest lah. So I think
Yeah, it's even more keras than the tall, skinny Stagmon guy to me. Way scarier. So thank you for sharing, man. This one was, I'm spooked. I'm totally spooked. Paris is sharing a COS story. I got spooked during COS duty in my HQ office. I wore beret and slept under the table. There you go. I'm glad it protected you, or maybe you're possessed all along. Wow, very exciting. Hello, Eliax is here. Okay, Eliax says,
I
I want to hug your
cat. Oh, yeah, I got a new cat, guys. You want to see my cat?
Sure. Can show or not?
I can, but he's a bit, he very manja.
He's very manja. Oh, hello. You're a huge kitty. Wow.
Say meow.
That worked. That really worked.
He very manja. He happily want me to scratch his neck. He just lie down there in my arms, very fluffy.
So this is a foster, is it?
Adopted from Paris.
Oh, hey.
Because he got dogs at home and cats at home, and then new dogs are born, so the bit of conflict dogs and cats. So I adopted two cats. Actually, I adopted first one cat, and then this Kiki has a good friend who's called Toto. And then when they were split apart, Toto was like meowing at night, and Kiki was like, love sick. So we brought their Toto together. Now you can see that they are together kissing each other's ass.
Oh, as we all should learn to do. Okay. Okay, here's an interesting short story. Hungry Me says, my son is in Gedong camp now. One night during guard duty, he and his friends saw two black figures from afar, and they chose to ignore and move away from the figures. Thank God nothing happened to them.
Smart.
Very wise. Your son is very wise. Okay. But it's a sad confession. But yeah, okay, very wise. If you see something, don't investigate, okay? Unless it's something that Eugene asked you to investigate, then please go ahead.
Then like that, John, then we got no story. Then we have all our confessions be like, I saw a shadow. Then what do you do? Then I pretend to sleep.
I left.
I run away.
So we are torn because as MSA we should be warning you to take precautions, but at the same time as SC, if you take precautions then we don't get stories. So what can I say? Right. Glenn is saying those crests bought at Beach Road are not blessed.
Then which one are blessed?
Yeah, which ones are blessed? Oh no.
Or is it like tikam one? Only one in every 100 is blessed. See your luck.
It's like the toy in the conflict.
Yeah, the kacha.
Hey, don't tell people that lah. Okay, it might be their only lifeline. Okay, so everyone, please ignore Glenn. Okay, they're all blessed. They're all blessed. For $2, all the 5 priests will sit there and bless.
And the manufacturing line there.
I think it's a contract that's signed with all the supernatural powers You must respect. It's like you must respect the flag, right? Even though it comes from a factory in China, but you still must respect the flag, right?
Yes.
So I think it's a mass produced kind of protection, which may mean that it's not very strong. That's true. Ayo.
Okay. Up next, we have a series of confessions that were given to us by the community, fresh. While we are doing this show, and I've been collecting them in this document. John, I think you have access to it as well.
Which document is it?
It's called
submission.
Yes.
Okay.
The first one we have by Sam.
No, that one. No, that's not the one. Is that the one? Okay.
Must be Nesse. Excuse me. I'm Sam. I am. I'm not sure if he wants to give his full name, so I kind of amended it a little bit.
Okay, sure.
You want to read that one?
You can.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
This happened during my BMT in the 90s. I was in a BMT obese batch, which added 3 months to the regular 3 months of my regular BMT. You can imagine all of the recruits selected for this BMT are of a certain heftiness and girth. We were all in a now defunct Camp 3 in Pulau Tekong Griffin Company. One Malay recruit surprised all of us as he was merely 50 plus kg. No one could figure out why he was in the obese company as he was clearly wasn't obese. He never could follow the training as he was also rather weak in strength and short in stature. Talk about one of those things that did not belong. One particular Thursday afternoon after we came back from a route march, the recruit suddenly started acting weirdly. The sergeants didn't think anything of it and dismissed us back to the bunks to clean up and rest. Next thing we heard, there was a commotion from the bunk where the skinny Malay recruit was. Screams and shouts could be heard, and that afternoon we were confined to our bunks for hours. Later, we found out that the skinny Malay recruit started becoming violent, and the sergeant and corporals, at least 8 of them, could not hold him down. It was after a while of struggling and a Muslim sergeant reading the Quran that the possession died down. Next thing you know, the Malay recruit came to and asked what happened. Apparently, the last thing he remembered was peeing in the forest. Over to you, John.
Bunyan in Tekong. Confession by Norisham. During my time in the army at Tekong BMT, I was scheduled for guard duty near the ammo dump one particular eerie night. The rain started pouring heavily around midnight, and my buddy and I took shelter under a small structure. The forest surrounding us was alive with the sounds of the jungle. But as the rain began to let up at around 2 a.m., an unsettling silence fell. Suddenly, from deep within the dense forest, we heard the Islamic call to prayer. My heart pounded in my chest. The call to prayer has certain times, and 2 a.m. was definitely not one of those times. The sound was ethereal, resonating hauntingly through the trees, sending chills down our spines. We exchanged nervous glances, but silently agreed not to discuss it until the morning. As soon as it stopped raining, we continued our prowling. The rest of the night was tense, each rustle in the underbush making us jump. As dawn broke, the forest seemed less menacing, but the memory of that eerie call lingered. Over breakfast, we finally talked about what we had heard, and I told my buddy it could be the Bunyan. That night left an indelible mark on me. The haunting call to prayer at 2 a.m. was no mistake. It was a brush with the unknown, a chilling reminder that there are forces in this world we cannot explain, lurking just beyond the veil of our reality. Hmm.
Okay. Confession by Norisham. Sorry. Oops. Wait, I think confession by James. One of the army incidents which I happened to encounter. Location Ulu Pandan Camp, Provost. I happened to do COS duty on one occasion. My company line was behind the SIB unit. Some of the sergeants do come back early morning every now and then, so that night I was on my own in a company rest area. As it was pitch black outside the company rest area, I normally prefer to close all windows, keep the lights on, and sleep. I think it was around 1 a.m. plus, half asleep and not completely in dreamland. I have the 16-inch fan blowing at me, sweeping from side to side. At the same time the wind was blowing, I found that when the fan was sweeping near my tummy, I felt no wind at all. At this point, I realized something is with me, but was not perturbed. Since it did not disturb me in any way. I just turned around and faced inwards while sleeping on the couch. Come 3 a.m., some of the specialists came back and I just opened the door and let them join me. Nothing happened towards morning. I didn't talk to the next COS about the night incident because I didn't want to scare him. Next one. Over to you, John.
Location Tekong Fibua Village. 3-day, 2-night reservist training. We reached Tekong Fibua Village around 4 p.m. Provost set up and ops only start after dusk. When we are done for the first night, we retired in one of the Fibua training open rooms. Around 2 a.m. in the morning, I heard the mosque sermon and it was quite audible. I didn't ask anyone else if they can hear. Second night, we were deployed early 7 p.m. along the road and we manned the traffic points. We spotted many red eyes in the dark and moving. I fixed my bayonet in case something comes rushing out at me. We wait until the witching hour to be picked up by a 3-tonner once the exercise was called off. The 3-tonner went through the way and picked up the rest of the reservist guys, and the last traffic point was in the forested area. After the last traffic point, the last guy came up and quickly rolled down the tunnel cover because the cover was not down earlier. We pretended as it was too hot, but the last guy just kept quiet. Or we protested that it was too hot, but the last guy just kept quiet. We questioned him when we were back at the Fibua village, and he admitted that a pair of red eyes were staring into the tunnel, which explains his action. This was the second night since we are back in the Fibua village. The same night again, we can hear the mosque sermon again. This time I asked around my peers if they can hear it. All of them present acknowledged. We kept quiet and didn't talk further. Are there mosques in Tekong? What do you think?
So we have to ask you guys. Are there any mosques in Tekong? I assume we would have got temples, right?
Huh?
Got temples, ma?
Active leh.
I think have. I think should have.
I don't think so. I think it's only whatever the army camp provides for the soldiers. Right? There are no other residents on the island. So there would be no independent mosque with its own timings. It's only the and I believe there's no sort of communal prayer call or anything for the soldiers, right? Everyone takes your time off to pray according to your unit. So there isn't that sense. But I think there's a very nice connection between this one and the earlier story, right? So the 2 a.m. prayer call, right? Hearing the muezzin at 2 a.m. in the forest is an amazing thing. And then connected to this one, right? And it opens up a very interesting possibility, which I want to discuss, right? It's about, so he said maybe it's the bunyan, right? He said so clearly he has a bit of law that he's aware of, right? And this seems to suggest that the bunyan have a different sense of time,
We know that as
right?
well.
Because
Yeah.
their prayers are in the morning. Are at 2 a.m. our time, right? So what is what time zone are they in, right?
Yeah.
And that's very interesting because that helps to verify the idea, right? That the bunyan and time are intricately connected, and why when they take you away and all that, it's always about a stretching of time,
Yes.
right? And 1 hour can be very long and things like that, right? So clearly, time is one of the dimensions which the bunyan do not observe in the same way as we do, lah. So that's quite nice. It's quite nice to have extra proof of that, you know.
So from the comment section, Khan Thomas said there are no mosques on Tekong. I think, wait, let me see. GF00 says Johor is not too far away, so it could have been from Johor where the azan play and then the sound comes across to Tekong.
But if it's something that, okay, I mean, in the second story, because they were only there for a short exercise, right? So it could be. But for the other one, if he's never heard it before and is hearing it for the first time and then probably never heard it again, then yes, I'm imagining it's more mysterious, lah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But also because nobody's talking about how far it sounded, right? I think that detail is missing, right? Because you can kind of tell if it's coming from within the village or away, you know. If it's
No, actually, having like certain experience with that, and I speak from personal experience when I was in Pulau Ubin. The first time I went in to investigate and we were walking the path, I heard a woman singing. And I think if you take a look at most recent investigation videos on YouTube, there are other investigators who went there and said they heard people singing. But when I was there, I could have sworn I heard it directly coming from the tree line. So when I first experienced it, it was just there at the tree line. But later on, when I walked further in and I went back in the morning and I said, hey, actually there was a kelong. And I could verify that the sound came from the kelong. But the minute I understood and saw the kelong, my brain could draw the sort of the depth perspective already. Then the next time when I went back again and I heard the sound, I heard it differently. It's like, okay, it's coming from a distance and it's seeping through the night. But if you are in that spot, you are in the forest, like these guys confess, and it's their first experience, I think the sound would just be at tree line level.
Right. Okay. It's possible. It's possible. Sound travels differently. Tris Rie is saying that there is a mosque opposite Tekong. And sound travels well over water, which is quite true. Absolutely true. Right. So, I mean, that would explain what you're talking about from the sound from the kelong, definitely, because it's directly traveling over water. I don't know if the forest one is probably because it will be traveling over a lot of land as well. But it still doesn't explain the 2 a.m. So where is it? Why is this mosque opposite Tekong having a prayer call at 2 a.m.? Yeah, but 5 a.m. is the mosque opposite Tekong in Malaysia.
People say my volume is dipping. Is my volume okay now? I'm good.
Try speaking over the water.
Hello.
It sounds fine to me, but then again, yeah. Is it better now? Let us know if Eugene sound is okay.
When we hear some of this like Charlie Three Door Company, and when things happen, Encik will always go to some ustaz or some spiritual people in Tekong. So I believe actually, maybe not public knowledge, right? But there are spiritual practitioners in Tekong. Maybe you got the 5 religion all stationed there in some parts of the
in a bunker, in a secret bunker underground.
Out of that one.
Oh dear. Poor Tangki sitting in Tekong with nothing to do. Hard to say. I'm just looking at the different. Okay. So talking about the one with the 16-inch fan, right?
Uh,
I love the detail in that story.
16-inch
You
fan.
know, is that the fan is blowing right at me, but I can't feel the fan on my
Ah.
tummy. You know, and I'm like, oh, ghost blocking fan. And I feel that all the time. It's like I turn on my fan on a hot day, and then I cannot feel the fan. Now I realize, oh, ghost is blocking
No,
my
because
fan.
John, you are the ghost. You got no physical
Oh,
form. You don't
I
even
am
feel the
blocking my
fan. Yeah.
I see. Damn it! I have to exercise myself. Yeah, so hard to be a ghost. But it's so I love the idea that the ghost also is in the room. The ghost also feeling hot. So when you turn on the fan, the ghost will come and stand in front of the fan, and then you are like, oh, hey. You know? Oh dear.
Now I'm thinking, right? Have I ever met
Mm.
John in the morning? Always meet you in the night
No.
only.
I don't.
Right. So you always tell me I cannot wake up in the morning. I cannot wake up in the morning. Now, more and more I'm
It's
putting the
true.
pieces together here.
I don't think you want to know the truth.
Ah. That's why I asked John, Poppy, give me 4D, please.
I give you 3D, then you guess the rest.
Alamak.
Okay, let's see what else in the sharing was interesting. Wow, quite nice. But this Fibois village, a lot of action, obviously.
Fibo Village like action. Even the one at UT, no, is it UT? The very famous one.
Yeah. Is it UT? Somewhere in the reservoir area.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask this.
Mm.
So, what about the skinny Malay recruit? Right. Okay. Clearly, it's about him getting possessed, right? And all the familiar tropes are there, right?
Yeah.
That he was heavy and he's strong and they couldn't hold him down, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But is this connected to why he was in the obese BMT? That when they weighed him, he came across obese, even though you can see he's a skinny boy.
Because he was possessed.
Yeah, so they weigh the ghost. But I'm thinking, why did the medical officer let that pass and go? He looks 50, but it says here 100. Okay, go BM. I don't know why didn't anyone raise this flag.
Quite true, now that you mention it that way.
But it seems to me that's the logic of the story, because the whole point was, why was he in this unit? He must have, tipped the scales, right, at some point, right, to have gotten there, right? But then again, he only got possessed for that moment. So, so I'm like, what's going on? Unless he was already possessed and that made him obese. And then after that, he got possessed again.
Or it just manifested, lah.
Or manifested.
He was
true.
already, the thing was already on his shoulder, right?
Yeah. So the thing was not exorcised by the reading of the Quran. It was just quieted down, right? Yeah, and the possession died down. Even he himself says it. The possession died down. So it just went quiet. Oh,
Also,
interesting.
the Fibo Village is Neo Tew, like what?
Yes, that's right, Neo Tew. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there. I even walk
quite
around
fun.
inside. It's quite exciting.
Yeah, I didn't find it spooky. I guess because we went there in the day, so we saw it. So by the time the nighttime came, we were kind of familiar with it, But if you saw it only in the night, it would, probably be quite spooky.
And also, just to backtrack a little bit, Tristan was saying that he can confirm the talisman was at Stagmont Camp because he was there for 1+ year, and there was an outline of what looked like a talisman on the door of each door of the bunk, but they have been ripped out.
Ooh, wow. The only thing more scary than seeing a talisman there is seeing what used to be a talisman there.
Oops. Norisham also added some more content to me. He says the azan sound we heard, the one the prayer, right? The azan sound we heard was very faint. The Malays believe that if it's faint, it's near.
Yes. So this is I came across this strange logic in Miss P law. Right, so some of the older beliefs about Miss P are that when she sings, right, and she sounds very soft, it means she's very close to you, and if she sounds relatively loud, it means she's still far away. Right, so this is a very nice inversion. Right?
Yeah, James says James also has heard azan, right? He says his sermon sound like it's coming from loud hailers.
Okay.
So maybe the JB, the Johor spillover sound might be true in this case if it's right from
But
loud hailer.
don't they all come from loud hailers nowadays?
Yeah, but I think the one that Norisham was saying is it's not from loud hailer. It's as if someone is singing.
Oh, like actual live singing. Wow. Okay, that's even spookier. Oh dear. Okay, even worse if like the call is different, subtly different. You know, wow. I'm thinking this Bunyan world is quite interesting because there are clearly, uh, contemporary sense. There's a sense of dimensional shift, right? Time is different, right? Who knows? Space distance is different. So all sorts of things are there. So it will be interesting to re-examine the old traditions through a slightly modern lens, where we're talking about dimensional travel and stuff like that, right? And then compare these two things. So this is another project for the MSA. Okay.
Also, clarification from I am Sam I am. According
Yes.
to the recruit in question, he said he was malnutrition. Confirmed he was less than 50 kg because we had to weigh in every week. So he was not he was not weighed as obese. He's
Okay.
malnutrition.
Oh, so I didn't know that the obese training included people who are also underweight. Oh, wow.
I guess it makes sense because the whole idea of that pre-BMT training was for you to be healthy at your healthiest weight. So if you are obese, you are supposed to eat healthy, work out to cut down. If you are malnutrition, you're supposed to eat healthy, exercise and bulk up.
Can you imagine during meal times at the cookhouse, all the obese recruits would be like staring at his plate like jealous and drooling.
Are you not going to eat that? Can I eat your...
Oh no. Okay. That's so tragic. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
What time are we at?
Wait, we are
have time
way...
for the last one?
Yeah, we have time. We are just way beat.
Yes.
Okay, this one is the last confessions that we
Yeah.
have for you.
Navy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this one
started
is
with the Navy. This
correct.
one we end with the Navy.
Jacob
Okay.
was the first one who contacted me and says, "Hey, I know you're doing army stories. I'd like to have Red Navy represents." So this week, JL, he's actually a existing regular in
Still regular.
So
Oh,
say,
nice.
please don't say my name because my colleagues will know who I am. So we're going to call him JL, and he has some personal experiences, also some hearsays, which is not written there, but I will tell you what he told me. Okay? But for now, maybe I'll read the first one.
Okay, Ken.
So JL says, "Hi Eugene, I heard Jacob's confession about the petrol vessel, PV, last week on Friday Night Live, and I thought I might share my own experience in the RSN, Republic of Singapore Navy, having served on board a few ships. These are not scary, but more, interesting. Ha 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 ha. Incident 1. There was once I was doing duty and was chilling in the multi-purpose room. It was at night about 22:30ish when I saw two of my prowlers, quartermasters, rushing back. One was scared as fuck and the other just kept saying, 我什么都没看到，我什么都没看到. I didn't see anything. After calming them down, they recounted that they did see something when going for rounds on board another PV. When they were at the bridge is the place where we navigate and drive the ship, signing the logbook, they saw this lady in white sitting at the bridge. And when they made eye contact with her, she floated casually away. They freaked out and ran back.
Wow, this one quite straightforward, quite classic. I love how casual she was. It's like, oh, hello.
Yeah, you know the second incident that we cover all together?
Okay, come.
Over to you.
Incident 2. This happened to me on board another class of ship. I was talking to one of my friends at the ship passageway after handing over duty, when suddenly one of the doors beside her opened on its own. I wouldn't be so freaked out if it was just a normal door opening due to pressure difference, perhaps. But what I saw was the door handle turning, the door actually opening out a few inches and then closing back. From where I was standing, if there had been anyone behind that door, I would have been able to see the person, but there was no one there. In fact, there was no one in that room at all. The door led to the sick bay, and it's only one way in and one way out. And I know what you're going to ask me. To the best of my knowledge, no one has died in there before. 5 to 10 seconds after this incident, the alarm for the coal room, which was situated one level below deck and quite a distance away, suddenly went off. This alarm was specifically used to alert the crew if someone was trapped inside, and it can only be operated manually via a button from inside the room. one of the duty watchmen went to check and came back to report that there was no one in the cold room. Okay, perhaps it's just a technical glitch, but throughout my whole decade-long career with the RSN, I have never encountered that alarm having any technical glitches.
I'll save the third one for later, okay? Let's do these two first.
Okay, so the door. Okay, let's tackle the door first because, wow, I mean, it's kind of. I was just going to say that, someone was just peeping in to see, and then because they realized someone was in the room, they closed the door again, right? But then when he says that from where he was standing, he could see through that gap, that would be spooky.
I asked all the questions, John. All the questions that you would have thought of, I have asked, and like I was thinking, is anyone there? Is that room two-way? No, he says no. It's a sick bay, one way in, one way out. I said, was it a heavy door? He says, no, it's not a heavy door, it's a normal door. But the fact that he's from his vantage point, he could see the door handle move. It opens up. So when you open up, let's say if someone holds the handle and opens up, right? You would be able to see line of sight.
Yeah.
And I said, is the door fully open or not? He says it's not fully open, it's just open a bit. But you could see by right someone's hand there, open up, and then closing if there was someone there. But the door opened up, closed back, and then he went to check it out. No one there.
I want to know if the handle was a turn handle, the round type, or it was the flip down type.
Yeah.
Like the toilet flush.
The lever.
So as the door opened, was the lever still depressed? As if there was a hand still holding it down?
It had to...
Or did it come back up?
Okay, so that part I don't know, because he says it went down and then the door opened up. And then it closed back.
Right, because that would imply that the pressure is still there. Whereas it's quite possible to press the lever, release it, and let the door open.
Fair enough.
And your hand is gone, right?
Correct.
So the person might be elsewhere in the room, for example, right?
Fair enough. But except there was nobody in the room.
Yeah, lah, that's another thing. Lah. But I'm just wondering if there was a hand that he should have seen, which he didn't see.
No.
Right, which was even cooler. But I'm also now thinking, since I'm a Hantu sympathizer, right? I'm just thinking, oh, poor ghost wanted to come out. Then like, I got people here.
Oops.
They had to stay inside the room the whole night. Then his friend is like, where are you? I'm stuck in the cold room. I can't get out. These humans are all over the ship. Help.
Then he goes, okay, let me distract them. I'm just going to press this alarm and get them to move away from that spot.
Then you can come out. So these poor ghosts are hiding from us because we are all over the place haunting these places.
So we are haunting them. We are haunting them.
Yeah, we are. Right? It's like the others, right? We are the ghosts. Okay? Poor Hantu. That's why they're always secretly like... So there was a ghost earlier tonight who was trying to roll around on the chair but couldn't. So we are screwing up their lives, lah. Poor thing.
So 5 to 10 seconds later, cold room alarm went off, and
like
the double check.
Yep.
That alarm can only go off when a button manually is pressed from within the cold room. So that button is not something that people will press. It's like those break glass in case of emergency type. It's only for if someone is being forgotten,
Emergency.
trapped inside the cold room, and you're like, let me out. You press that. So JL also said that it could be a technical glitch. But for the 10 years that he was, or almost 10 years, less than 10, that he was working there, he never encountered that particular button having any glitches. So it's not like a common thing at all. So it just happened that one time.
Wow.
So
I just want to read this comment from Jujube. I am now too scared to walk my dog. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, sorry. I interrupted your question. Come, ask me.
So the thing is, the button is only pressed from inside. It's not pressed from anywhere else in the ship. So
Right.
it's a physical button, you see. So to me,
It's less likely to be a glitch, lah.
Yes.
Right, because it's not an electrical signal.
No.
Right, or at least it's not solely an electrical signal. Right, there has to be enough pressure to trigger the button. Right.
But I think the line that got to me was, I don't know what you're going to ask me. To the best of my knowledge, no one had died in there.
What was in the cold room? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, Okay, I'll ask JL what's in the cold room.
Yeah, sekali it was like, oh, it's the pantry cold room, right? So as the boat was rocking on the sea, then the slab of meat was swinging, then hit the button. Who knows? Wow. Okay.
Okay, speaking
Okay.
of slab was swinging, this goes nice segue into our third incident on this particular boat. Okay, shall I read this?
Okay. Yeah, I can.
Incident 3. This happened on board the same ship during a deployment that stretched into the lunar 7th month. The ship crew decided to have a prayer session and set up a table of offerings, including a roast chicken, duck, fruits, and even sweets and packet milk for the child ghost, if any. 2 days later, we met with rough seas and things started to slide about, including things that were lashed down. Surprisingly, the offering table, which was secured down with just simple ropes, stood fixed in place. And get this, the fruits, 4 in the bottom and 1 on top, were still in place, while other equipment around it shifted halfway across the room. Initially, we had intended to clear the offerings after a few days, but after witnessing what we did, we left it there until we docked 5 days later.
This is why, when we were discussing the arrangement of the stories, I wanted to end with this. Because it's not a Kara story, but it is so satisfying, right? There is the sense that something's going on, okay? Something powerful and unexplainable and totally sensible to most of the people who are listening, right? It totally makes sense, right? And it's very shock lah. I think if I was there in that room and I saw the evidence, everything had been moved except that table, I'll be clapping. I'll be like, yes, well done, well done.
John, I was still skeptical at this point, and I asked JL, I said, how rocky was rocky? How choppy was choppy, right? Maybe I wanted some visual of the choppiness.
You skeptic, you, okay?
How did I become the skeptic now?
Yeah, exactly. Shame on you.
Okay. He sent me this link. He said the choppiness was exactly like this video footage. Take a look.
Okay.
See the way
shit.
people are falling around? Right?
Wow.
Right? It's really this choppy. He says, no kidding. It was choppy like this. Like things will move around the place.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yikes. Okay.
Right.
This is the North Sea, right? So okay, it doesn't get any choppier than this.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And then I asked him, I double confirm. So table is tied down with simple ropes. I get it, secured. What about the apples and oranges? He says, no. They were. I said, were they glued? Were they shrink wrap? Were they kept in place? He says, no, just left like normal offering . And I said, everything else moved. And you showing in that video, that's how the boat was rocking. And the 4 fruits and 1 on top stayed. He says, yes. I said, hell no. He go like, hell no is right. Because they
Eugene.
all cannot believe.
Eugene, you are the skeptic, and no. Okay, this one must be the spirits. Okay, it's not the hantu, it's something else. All right, but I love the idea that something as mundane, because we see these everywhere, right? They're so commonplace these days, offering tables and all that, right? But there's power, there's meaning behind these things. We take them for granted, right? We just see them and we think, rituals lah, traditions lah, habits lah. But they're not. These rituals are powerful and meaningful, right? Just like your $2 Beach Road crest, can be easily shrugged off. But there's another level of existence in which these rules are real and tangible and solid and are observed by both sides, right? Both sides, So tonight, very interesting, huh? So it's not about the kerasness tonight. I think there's something else. There are these very profound sort of realities being proven, that there's a different physics in these two worlds, right? We've heard with the 2 a.m. prayers and the funny distance sound things, and now the things that refuse to move just because your boat is moving. Wow, powerful, yeah. We are in very, very MSA territory. Nice.
I don't even have a law explanation for this.
This is called paralogic. Paralogic.
Wow.
The science of the supernatural.
Yeah.
Right? Things that defy human science, but make sense if you consider other laws. Right? If it's an offering, it must be protected.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Right? The sea has no right to spill my fruits. How dare you? You know? I mean, those who are of a religious sort of inclination would totally find this very reasonable, right? This would come across as a low level miracle, lah, right? Talk about like crosses that don't burn and things like that, right? Holy books that survive fires, right? There are a lot of these stories, lots of these stories, right? And this is very much that kind of case.
So now I got a question for us, John, and for our listeners tuning in. One of the law that we always say is you can eat the fruits or you can eat the food of the that's being offered to the spirits after the candle and the incense
Basically, after the ritual is complete,
right? But we saw this 2 days later. This ritual is already completed, but yet the spirits still have a hold over this. Right, so now I'm taking twice like, oh, candle over means the spirit has locked out. No, it still belongs to the spirit in clearly from this confession.
I don't think that table is there for a temporary offering, right? There are situations in which the candles are kept burning throughout because their protection is required throughout. So you may make a temporary offering of like, here's a chicken, but this shrine or this altar continues to be operating because we're still at sea, right? We still need a protection, right? The chicken was the beginning, right? The ceremony, right, to kick off the thing, but after that, please continue to protect us, right? The same way you keep the candles burning in church, right? You don't just wait for feast days, you light candle, right? No, the candles are non-stop, right? So I do believe that the oil candles are meant to continue burning. So even though the offering and the food, so actually they could have eaten those fruits if the actual offering ritual was over, but the shrine, the table itself is still operational, right? So I think that's the logic there, lah. Because otherwise then the protection is gone. Right?
And also they're very thoughtful. They burn food. They have offerings. They give chicken, duck, fruits, but they also give sweets and milk for child ghosts, if any. See, this is a very Asian mindset. We believe there's the supernatural world. We cannot see you, but we're just going to do it for you anyway. We assume.
So I've heard from I think at least one, maybe two different sources, right? Both were religious staff from the temple, and they explained that it's a very important precaution, because if you offer only to the grown-up spirits, right, you are tempting the child spirits to steal.
Oh.
Right? And they will get in trouble.
Oh.
So don't tempt them. Make an offering to them so that there's harmony throughout. Right? You don't piss off the other gods by placing an offering where the kids will steal it. Right? So to keep everyone happy, you provide both. Right? This is why you see in the temples, for example, when they have ceremonies, they do have offerings for the kids. I saw a huge Buddhist ceremony where there was a whole table, the last table. So there were different tables with different offerings, and then the very last one was all the candy. So all the kids go and queue up there. Don't go and catch out all the grown-ups. Okay. So it is. I think that there's a belief that there are so many child spirits, and they are so naughty that they will just screw up your event, lah.
Yeah.
So you just always want to make sure that they are occupied. Interesting episode. I like this.
We have ran way over time today, and I felt it's very Christian because we have a lot of this army stories, and because we are not going to rehash army stories again anymore this year. You want army stories number 4 next year, July.
Year.
Every July we will play, we'll compile and we'll present army stories to you. But next week, we're not forgetting our boys and women in blue. We're giving you police story.
Police stories. Nice. But if you are still craving army stories, you can go and dig up our last season's episode and go and enjoy yourselves there, because there were some really good ones there.
There are other confessions that came in that did not make it for this short period of time that we have tonight on Friday Night Live. I will be placing them onto our website as blog entries. And I also leave all the links to the FNLs that's talking about army stories on there as well. So you can go and check out my Supernatural Confessions website tomorrow or Sunday. There'll be things up.
Wow, thanks guys for staying with us. Wow, this is one of the longest ones this season. Huh? Not bad.
And to end the poll that I've asked.
Okay, come. What is the result?
Oh, yeah. Very unsatisfying because Tekong 62%. Seletar 20%. Stagmont Camp 17%.
Hey, why am I post that more? Okay.
Tekong is like PAP, landslide victory.
Okay, but it's a very biased poll because Tekong is like the whole bloody island. Right? So, okay, fair enough. Yeah. The camp has to suffer the hauntings of a whole island worth of ghosts because why? No one else for them to haunt. So they all gather to the camps.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Whole island of Pontianak all queuing up. Like, today is my turn. My turn.
Well, if you cannot get enough of myself and John, there are a few ways to continue this experience. Well, we are on YouTube, of course. We're on Friday Night Live, but also we have Twilight Tour Changi.
Wow, look at Changi, so pretty.
Happen once every month, the last Saturday of the month, and this is not scary lah. As you can see from the poster, very bright light. We talk about the heritage. We kind of tell you ghost stories, but it's just touch and go. I would consider this 80% heritage, 20% horror, but it still gives you enough content to chill you to your bones.
But if you have friends who are interested in Changi and interested in learning about the past, but who are too chicken shit to come for the night tour, this is perfect for them. Okay, also suitable for younger people because they won't scream so much. So please come and join us.
A walk with Hantu Changi. Oh, this one.
It's Walk We Hunt Chang.
Why am I?
Walk We Hunt Chang. Okay.
Why like that? Why like that? Hold on.
Okay, explained. Okay. Wow, nice.
Yeah, Walk with Hantu Changi. This one is the keras one. 80% ghost, 20% history. You come for this. If you have seen some of our viral videos, people have come down for this walk. They have seen things, they have experienced things. And I think the most interesting tours that we have was one particular walk where 7 out of 15 of the participants all had third eye. It was very interesting.
The participants were more keras than Changi.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tours conducted every Saturday, 7:30 to 10:30. For all information and registration, please go to supernaturalconfessions.com.
Yay.
As I said, next week is police story. So if you're from the police force and you think, what, these army people, they think scary. You never kena police academy. Please get in touch with me, 94594931, or go to a website. You can submit a story. Also, James is asking, Eugene, do you have any fishing story? Yes, Eugene has archive of fishing stories. So
nice.
Perhaps that will come after the police story. So if you are a fisherman or avid angler and you got some stories to share, 94594931 or supernaturalconfessions.com.
And it's not just police academy that we want. We want also all the little police post stories. People who did police during their NS also counts, right? Shall we include SCDF as part of police?
Sure, SCDF. SCDF.
Right? For Safwan.
For Safwan.
Okay, so SCDF as well as police. Okay, so you can start sharing. All right, and then if we have enough, we can do an extra episode. But if not, we can combine together.
I was just
send in.
Yeah, I was just editing a confession that came in 2 weeks ago from the Police Coast Guard. And
nice.
That was, to me, is what the fuck thing. Like if I was there in that position and then I get the instruction to do what you tell me to do and then only to realize, sorry guys, sorry, that was Hantu, that was not a pirate ship.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, sure. Wow, okay. Not bad. Tonight was really quite interesting. It was keras at points, but it was kind of mind-blowing in its own way. So I really enjoyed that. Wow. Sure.
Alsatian always say, we should do our live show till 1 o'clock. Okay, today he been donating a lot so 12:30 for you, bro.
Wow. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Nice.
I have Desmond, Ezekiel, JK all outside my room now.
You have squatters.
Yeah, so I got to go out and have a drink with them.
Okay, go and entertain them. See you all next week for our police/SCDF week. Okay, keep the stories coming. Wow, sure.
Yeah, Monday is the other side. That one is done a bit differently. It's purely podcast style, a bit of discussion, no video. So if you're into audio and you like the storytelling of it, so when the host for the other side gives very good audio podcast for the other side. Tuesday is hyper local. It's fun stuff. It's us scouring the internet. Belinda scouring the internet and finding cute things that may not necessarily be keras, but interesting paranormal related topics. And we share that on Tuesday afternoon.
Housekeeping.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for a good time for Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, where I have an archive of audio narration of past confessions that was written out in text, but narrated purely for podcast. No frills, no intro, outro, no John, no me, nothing. Just the story narrated, full stop. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, sometimes even 10. Okay, so
So something to look forward to. Yeah, very exciting.
one last thing I want to say: Supernatural Confessions YouTube channel is now at 78,000. 22,000 more. We get a nice plug from YouTube. We are almost there.
All right, please help to share, spread the news, get your friends in. Okay, it's a great community, so chill your friends along. Yeah, wow, shock. Okay. Thank you all, wherever you are in Singapore. Thank you.
I'll see you guys next week. And for Friday Night Live, we are your hosts, the Prince of Paranormal, Eugene Tay, the man before time, suspected spiritual entity, the time traveler, the immortal Jonathan Lim. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.